All right, we got a lot of people in here. What's going on, everybody? Happy Wednesday. Is everything up and running? What's going on, Sunset Hound? What's up, Zach Pearson? Brewing Bad, what's up, brother? Blackwood Brews. What's up, Joseph Hyde? Let me kill all this audio over here. Let's give that a go. What's up, Chris Vodka in the house, man?
Shake for the original steak
Let me kill this really
burger.
fast.
Quick sear to sear
We got Martin in the house
create
tonight.
those unique, crispy edges
Where's this coming
you'll
from?
only get from a steak burger. Steak.
Think we're good to go. How's the audio sound? What up, Will D? What's going on, man? Let me go ahead and pull in Martin from the Homebrew Challenge. And we're cooking with grease, man. What up, Will D? What's up, everybody? Me and Martin talked earlier in the week to pick up some local brews, and I'm glad I did because I found a super rad store in Knoxville. And it's by far the best place to buy beer so far. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get Martin. Let's see if we're all in sync with audio video. The Homebrew Challenge Discord. There he is. What's up, my dude?
Hello.
Hey, what's going on? This is the first time we've done this. Let me pull this down a little bit. You're looking good, man. You got the way better lighting than I have right now.
I am just in my little home studio setup. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you're here.
Honored to be on.
Yes, sir. And I talked to Kyle last week, and he said that your place is way more badass than he thought. He said it was way bigger and way more production savvy than whatever he was thinking beforehand. Let me go ahead and straighten this out just a little bit.
It was so funny having claw hammer supply in my
Emmett
finished basement here.
and Kyle.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun. Okay, here it is. All right, so let me pull your head up a little bit. So there's a little bit of a delay. You're going to be on. We're talking in real time right now, but you're not going to be able to see me until you go into YouTube, and that'll be like a 5 to 10 second delay. So that's kind of
Yep.
okay.
I have YouTube up, but it looks like I'm too quiet.
Yeah, I can control that on my end too.
Okay.
And I'm interested to know what beers you're drinking because I got some good ones. I'm glad we talked beforehand. Let me go and pull this up.
Yeah.
What are you drinking over there, Martin?
See.
Audio out. I always have a problem with the audio out. Sorry, guys. It'll be a second. Let's go to... What about now?
Can you hear me?
I think that's
One,
perfect
two.
now. I can hear you perfect now. What up? What's going on, everybody? You're going to probably recognize a lot of people in here. But, yeah, what are you drinking, Martin?
So I have a
Nice.
6-pack.
We're drinking beer tonight.
Actually, hold on. Are you ready for this?
I've never been more ready for anything in my entire life. Dude, you got 2 cameras going.
Camera change.
You are ready, man. No one's more ready than you are right now. This is awesome.
Yeah, so I've got
Can we drink all 6 beers tonight?
6 beers. Well, we'll see, I guess. 6
Yeah, we
beers
will.
from different Raleigh breweries. Raleigh, Durham, North Carolina.
Yeah, you're what, about 2 hours east of Asheville? There's a little bit
A
longer
little
than that.
further than that.
You're-
Probably 3.5, 4.
Is that pretty much on the coast at that point then?
It's no halfway between the mountains and the coast.
Well, cheers, Martin. I'm glad
What
you're
are you-
here. I've got
What are you starting with?
I've got a Nada Indian Pale Ale from Wiseacre Brewing, Memphis, Tennessee. So Memphis is on the way other side than where I'm at. I'm on the eastern side, but nonetheless, I think all the beers that I got are from Tennessee today because there's big ones out here. You know, like the Terrapins and the Sweetwaters. Have you heard of those breweries?
Yes.
Those are big out here,
Right.
but I think they're both from Athens, Georgia. Not the real Athens. Let me pull this down. a little
Okay.
bit. Yeah.
So I've got Paycheck Pilsner, starting light from Full Steam, which is a brewery in Durham
Okay.
nearby.
Let me get this camera going a little bit more sync. I did get a super chat when I wasn't even live yet. Brian L., when we weren't live. Much love, you, Braj. Cheers, Brian Lampron. And last week, Just Brewing and Brandon Chamberlain. Much love, you sweet boys. So what are you doing to switch cameras over there? Do you have a Stream Deck as well?
I have a A10 Mini Pro, and
Wow.
I never stream anything, but it records 4 cameras at once. So when I'm doing the beer tasting, I will have them all recording onto a single hard disk, and then I can just take that away, and I have all 4 camera streams.
Got it. Okay, so we're over here and we are cooking with grease. Much love, Patrick Sandy. Thank you for that super chat. What's your microphone right there? Is that the NTG?
Yes.
What's your take on that thing? Because I'm kind of in the market after watching Nikita's videos from England.
It's yeah. Does he use this too?
He uses the 3, so it's a $600 one, which I can't afford, but I want it one day for cooking videos, and someone can get on a shotgun mic and just hold it over us like that. But for just stuff like this Audio Technica is $150, and it's fine. I can't spend.
Yeah.
I've got 30,000 subscribers. I can't spend $500 on a microphone right now.
Yeah, I've had this mounted up here for years. I don't even remember how it got here, to be
So
honest.
I got a lot of questions because I don't know how you do it. I don't know. Do you edit and brew? Are you editing or brewing at some point every single day?
No, are you?
Hell no. But you also have a full-time job, right? You work for IBM is what pulled up.
That's right.
When I Googled you, I didn't know if I'm supposed to talk about stuff like that, but it's on the internet.
Then it's fair game.
Then it's
Yeah,
fair
I do
game.
work at,
So how do
work at a
you
tech company.
how does your schedule work with putting out content and brewing?
So I mean, I was
Cheers,
doing a
Martin.
video when I was doing the challenge, the 99. I was doing one a week, so I would mainly brew weekends, sometimes very early mornings before work, and then work from home.
Damn. And Kyle was saying that you edit your
yeah.
car sometimes.
Oh yeah, so my
I don't have
my
a laptop.
MacBook just comes with me everywhere and edit. That's kids soccer practice. Whenever there's some downtime, just do it that way. Just
Crazy.
yeah.
Well, good for you, man. Every week I have no idea what video I'm going to do, and I don't know what sometimes I don't even know why I'm even doing YouTube, but you got a lot of ideas, and I'm going to start doing a bunch more grain to glass recipes, videos. So I'm going to be stealing probably some of the styles you've already done.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm trying to do less grain to glass videos. There's so much work.
They
My
are.
goodness.
They are.
Come up with the recipe, brew the damn thing, wait
Wait.
4 weeks till it's ready, taste it, package it. That's a lot for one video's worth. But yeah.
You do 2.5 gallon batches, correct?
Yeah, 3 gallons. Yeah.
And how much beer do you have on tap on right now, any given time?
I have 4 taps. So they're pretty much always full.
You got 4 taps full, kind of like Kyle's fridge over there. He's always got a bunch of beers on.
Yeah.
Clawhammer's
got an
set up.
impressive,
Yeah, he's got
right?
he's got some good eye candy over there. Have you ever watched a Hoppy Hour before? Have you ever watched one of these?
So I watched.
means no.
No, I watched Trent's Hoppy Hour from a few weeks back.
Oh, nice. So there's people are involved. So the chat's going right here as well. And then if somebody subscribes or becomes a member or super chats, there's going to be notifications going on. I didn't know if you were caught up with what's been beeping in. So, and big shout out to Rob Barnes, man. He says the multiple camera angles look awesome. Cheers, Rob. Cheers, Patrick Sandy. Cheers, Brian. Cheers.
Multiple camera angles.
Rob Barnes says, don't pull the chip. I actually was in a chip from Chop and Brew. We were doing mandatory beer chucks, but he was doing something crazy like barley wines or 10% Scotch ales or something. I don't remember, but in the morning he didn't remember it. So I think the majority of my beers max out at West Coast IPA, but we'll see, man. And I'm really glad you're here. This is cool. This is the first time me and Martin have kind of gone back and forth aside from email. So cheers to you, bro.
Yeah, and thanks, Carl, for hooking us up a couple of weeks back.
Yeah, absolutely. Big shout out to Esteban Flemons, who just became a member. So we got the dancing avocado right there. Thank you, Esteban. So I got some questions just on your on your background. How long have you been in North Carolina? Because I could have sworn, I think up until Kyle told me, I just assumed you were from England.
You assume correct.
Yeah. So how long you been out here?
So I've been in the US about 15 years. I came
Oh.
across with work. But all in North Carolina. Yeah, when I moved here, I'd never even heard of North Carolina. Like, it was a bit of a culture shock,
I bet.
but I like it out here, and
I
wouldn't
love
go
it out
back,
here too.
to be honest.
You what?
Yeah.
You don't want to go back?
I wouldn't go back. No, 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 no.
I can't afford to go back. I just moved out here from San Diego, and I don't even know how I survived 1 month out there
Oh.
because it is.
And you're in Knoxville, right?
I'm
So
in Knoxville, and it's funny out here because I was at a bar last night. Every time I get an upload, I just go to a bar and drink a beer. I drink a Cost Striker and get some food. And it's so funny hearing people complain about gas prices and the cost of living out here and houses being $300,000. I'm like, that house across the street for 300 grand, that is $1 million in the neighborhood I lived in San
Right.
Diego.
that's right.
300 grand in San Diego, I don't even think it could get you a trailer park. Maybe if you go a little bit inland. So it's just funny out here, and I love it. I can't afford to go back. I don't want to go back. Hopefully I don't have to go back, which means I have a healthy dad. But, you know, sooner or later, I got to go back and take care of my dad because he's not going to come to me. But in the meantime, hopefully I could buy a house out here, make some moves. I don't know what I'm doing with this whole YouTube thing. I always kind of play around with going back and forth with putting out less content and actually getting a real job or something. But I love it out here too. And I wanted to move to Asheville, but Asheville's a little bit more expensive than Knoxville.
So I hear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The way it kind of works is obviously San Diego, San Francisco, Portland's expensive. Everybody knows that. Austin's expensive now too. There's places in Texas that are $500,000-$600,000 for 3-bedroom, 2 baths now. But Knoxville's not as expensive as Nashville or Asheville. And then the cities behind Knoxville that are cheaper are Johnson City and maybe Chattanooga. That's kind of bartender talk, what I was picking up last night. So we'll see. Yeah, but everybody wants us to collab. If you're ever in Knoxville, it's here. Any collab food, sous vide, grain to glass, I want to get you. I want to get Kyle out here. I mean, we're all at least in the same time zone.
Yeah, we have family that live in Chattanooga. So we were over there a few months back.
What'd you think of Chattanooga?
Well,
Doesn't sound good.
well, we're a little outside of Chattanooga where the family live. They live in Rossville, Georgia. It's like just across the border. But actually downtown Chattanooga, some of
Yeah.
the breweries there were
Killer.
pretty good.
Any name you want to drop? Any brand that you remember?
No, I don't remember any of them.
So they weren't that good, or you got too drunk.
No, we were
both.
staying downtown as well, like right. So I guess you know Chattanooga. You live around here now, but we were sort of right
Never been.
north of the city on the water.
Okay.
And then you could sort of walk into the downtown and towards the aquarium and stuff like that.
I heard
So-
the aquarium's awesome, and I heard there's another aquarium that's badass in Gatlinburg. Have you ever heard of Gatlinburg?
Oh, Gatlinburg. Yes, I have. So
I think it's Gatlinburg.
yeah. So Gatlinburg is like the sort of the entry to the Smoky Mountains, right?
Yes.
Um,
Yeah. There's probably a Gatlinburg in Europe too. It just sounds very European. But yes, the one in Tennessee, North Carolina.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have an awesome mountain coaster there.
Yeah.
Start at the top, go down, gravity. Fantastic.
There's a lot of stuff over here. There's a lot of where are the Appalachian Mountains? The Appalachian Mountain Range. I guess we're in
Yeah.
it, but then there's the Smokies, which are a part of that. I've only been here for about 65 days. Yeah, because I got
Oh,
out
you're
here.
that new. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, I moved out here March 18th. That was my best friend's birthday. So what's today? Probably like the 20. Today's the first,
21st.
man. Get your rent checks in. Get your mortgage checks in. So I'm finally at the point where I can kind of move around here without GPS in my way home. And I do, in general, I just drive a lot. I just like just to drive, like how some people drive or ride motorcycles. I do that in my car. And sometimes just to get out of my house, I'll just drive around and just look at beautiful houses and stuff like that. And I can kind of get back to, there's Knoxville is like North Knoxville, South, which is across the Tennessee River, and West. And I've got the North, the East, and the South. Good. I know my breadcrumbs. Where's the Casey's gas station? Where's there's so much fast food out here. It's out of control. It's ridiculous. You know, where's the Subway right here? There's drive-through Subways, like 3 on the same street on Broadway, which is the big vein right outside my neighborhood. But other than West Knoxville, yeah, I'm figuring it out. I'm getting it down. And I love it. I love it. And I can afford it. I can finally afford it to live.
Right. I mean, here it's pretty affordable, but the price is going up everywhere. Everyone's moving to the area. It's kind of nuts.
Everyone's coming in to Eastern North Carolina right now? Or not?
Yeah,
or
Raleigh.
Yeah. All right,
Raleigh, Asheville. Yeah, it's crazy.
Round number 2, Martin. I've got Clinch River Brewing.
Oh, my. Round 2 already?
Yeah.
Okay.
Congo Square Indian Pale Ale. Right here.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it's a 16 ounce or 2.
Another IPA.
Norris, Tennessee.
I'm enjoying.
Never heard of it.
I'm enjoying the comments. So apparently you're going to be getting into moonshine living down here, which makes a lot of sense.
I've thought about making the video, and me and Kyle, because me and Kyle are pretty good buddies at this point. I definitely consider Kyle a friend. He's got some funny stories about making moonshine and putting out content on YouTube, and I've thought about. He's got some good stories. You know, there's some federal bureau of investigation that's knocked on his door back in the day. But I thought about making the video, kind of just wink to the camera. Like today we're making essential oils or distilled water, wink, wink. But I don't want to. I still think that's too much fire to play with. But more power to
Did
anybody.
they do that recently? An essential oils video, I think.
They did, yeah. And I think they actually did essential oils. I'm pretty sure that they were out at a lavender, some field that grew herbs and stuff like that. But I just don't want to do it. Do you talk to Jesse from Still It? Mm-hmm. You talk to him. That's his thing. Like he's got the channel on it. Like I don't, it's too much fire for me to play with.
Right. Yeah.
Brandon Chamberlain, super chat. Much love, Brandon. Come on down. We got about 90 people here. This is the most people we've ever had in the shortest amount of time. And it's going to go by fast. The first half an hour, maybe the first hour might be awkward. The second hour goes by in 5 minutes. If I can get you for an hour and a half-ish.
Yeah. So there were a couple of questions for me, I think. Where do I live? Raleigh, North Carolina, in case somebody missed that.
It might be tough to get to all the questions, but pick and choose. It's your free will, man. You're the man tonight. We're here for you, and you're always welcome back on, especially because you have phenomenal production. Sometimes people come on and the audio is pretty whack.
Well, there we go. Got the fancy mic.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I ask a question to the audience?
Yeah, we could do a poll too.
Like,
what up, Chris?
Oh,
what's going on, Chris Beatty? He caught me in a slip up in my last video. I said pressure. PSI stands for pressure per square inch. And
pounds.
Yeah, he caught that. Much love, Chris. Cheers, Homebraj. Yeah, what's the question, Martin? We could do a chat or we could do a poll as well.
Okay, so I put out a video today about my recipes, and I
saw that.
I've just got kind of obsessed a little bit with like trying to reduce the length of the overall brew day at every possible step. So when Carl and Emmett were here, we were talking a little bit about reducing mash time and stuff like that, and they're doing a video on that soon.
Yeah.
I've been doing 30-minute boils for about 18 months, and I was curious to know what everyone else is doing. Like, is everybody still generally doing a 60-minute boil or like 20-minute boil, no boil? Like, I'd be interested to know what people are doing.
We'll put it in the chat right now, but I only do 30-minute. If I'm not doing
30 minutes,
I only do 30-minute unless I'm doing a West Coast IPA. Anything else is a 30-minute. Any hazy, any malty beer. I haven't brewed in like 5 months. I'm definitely a poser at this point, but it was never longer than 30 minutes. I mean, when I first started brewing, everything was an hour. That was kind of the general rule
Right,
back in around
right.
2015, 2016. But if it's unless it's a West Coast IPA and I really am shooting for about 70 IBUs, other than that, it's a 30 minute mash and it's a 30-minute boil tops for me.
I've been mashing for an hour,
You mash for an hour?
which Carl was telling me I probably shouldn't need to do. That it's mostly converted after 20 minutes.
However you get your sugars, and a lot of people don't check their gravity readings pre-boil, but I think that's a huge power move because that could save you a
Right.
lot of time. And I think as brewers, the more you brew, the more you appreciate time. It's a little bit different for us, I think, because we're setting up, I've got tripods and I've got audio and stuff, so I can deal with a little bit more downtime. But I think a good brew day with cleanup, you start at 8 o'clock and you're done with cleanup and everything in about 3.5, 4 hours. You know, I don't start brew days late. If it's 2 o'clock, I'll just call it off. I don't allow a lot of people to come over. If you're coming over, you better be involved in the video or some sort, or like a girlfriend or something. But other than that, we're not going to brew and film and have a party anymore. I've just grown out of that. We just did that for the first year of brewing, and the beer never gets better from getting drunk and brewing and hosting and meeting new people and shaking hands. Your batch of beer is never going to get better from that.
Right.
Does this go through?
Right. I would like to be done in. I'd say most brew days for me are 3.5 hours from heating up the strike walker to clearing everything away.
What and you're
But
filming.
I'd like to do it. Yeah, and the filming.
And you're filming.
But
So that's
it'll be-
really good.
I'd like to do it in 2 hours. So if you're doing only 30 minutes of mash,
Yeah.
or 20 minutes of mash, I don't know, and then 30 minutes of boil, and then I have the 240 clawhammer system, so it gets to temp real fast. And then seems like there's a lot of efficiency opportunities.
Getting to boil is a big one, especially if you're doing 10-gallon batches. We're not. I mean, you're doing 3-gallon batches. So what is
I'm doing 3, so that's a huge time saver.
That's a huge time saver because what do you get to boil? Because what do you start with? About 4.5 gallons. How much does the grist
that's
soak?
right.
4.5. And
So
then
right.
so you can get to boil in probably what, about 20 minutes?
I'll get to mash temperature in 10 minutes. Like by the time I've measured out some water salts,
That's awesome.
It's done.
Yeah,
And then from mash temp to boil, 5 or 6 minutes.
that's crazy. Because when I had the
Yeah.
Anvil Foundry, I think it took an hour and a half. I didn't have 240 though.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I brew with the 120 system, and then it's like, oh, it takes an hour to get to mash temperature. I've forgotten what that was like.
What you want to do with that is you want to, like, you can do an all-in-one system. You could just start with 7 gallons, but that's going to take so long. Usually you want to start with about 4 just because you can heat up and bring to boil fast. And then on another system, you do your sparge with about 3 gallons, and you can do that on your kitchen stove in the meantime, or if you have a burner.
Right.
But if you're starting with 7 gallons and you want to do, I mean, it doesn't really matter what beer style, but that's just a lot. That's a lot for that little burner to work too. I always feel, and I've broken every system I've ever had besides the claw hammer, which I haven't used yet. I've broken a Grainfather, I've broken an Anvil, and I've broken a mash and boil. So in 3 different ways too. The Grainfather I got water on. That was kind of an easy fix. The LCD screen, and we had to send it back to them, and they sent us a new one, but I think it was $150. My Anvil Foundry just started leaking through the bottom, which is the last thing you want to do.
Oh, yeah, that doesn't sound good.
That's a bad one. And then the mash and boil one, Firmzilla's, it was just kind of shitty, and it took it couldn't hold the temperature, and when I calibrated it, it was way off. And it works okay if you use it with an Inkbird, if you've got another temperature control, but it was just kind of clunky. It was just kind of, I think it's the cheapest electric home brewing system out there. So you get what you pay for. And if you have anybody in the chat, if you're using any of the systems I just talked about and you have great experiences and good stories with them, more power. I'm glad everybody's stuff works. But with electric, it just feels like sooner or later, something's going to get water on it. Something's going to break. But what I do love about the clawhammer system is that if it does short fuse out. I could just put it on my burner. You know, it's not like the electricity is underneath it. It's a box that could be 6 feet away from it. Other than that, it's just a badass 10-gallon boil kettle with the Triclamp and some ports and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's nice. One
Yeah.
Triclamp. I had some systems that had like, I think it was 7 Triclamp connections just to get the thing set up for
That's
brew day.
expensive.
Which is yeah.
That's a lot of
I mean, it's
welding.
very flexible, and you could do nice whirlpools and stuff like that. But it was also kind of overly complicated.
Yeah. Less is more, I think, in general with brewing. Some things just have, I get it. You know, there's brands that are trying to make a quick buck and put something out, and these things are new, and a lot of these things haven't withstood the test of time. But I think for the most part, less is more with home brewing. And I'm a big plastic fermenter guy, and I see some of the prices on these fermenters out there, and I couldn't. Maybe if I first got into home brewing, I might be more of their target audience, but it's a lot. It's a lot. And the video, I put out a video yesterday, and I was actually going for the most expensive fermenter I could find, and the one out, the 5-gallon or 7-gallon one out there was $1,500. That's a lot of money.
Oh,
That's a lot
yeah.
of money. I'm not going to name the brand, but just watch the video.
So I got a Firmzilla, one of these new Triclamp Firmzillas to try out.
Yeah, that's not
So
me.
these look pretty nice, but it's just, you know, plastic fermenter.
Yeah.
Now comes with a few TCs, dump valve at the bottom.
What's the price tag on
Interesting.
that?
I don't know.
Oh, they sent it to you. Okay, well, start making
Yeah,
YouTube
Keg
videos
Land.
and you get some free shit. Well, that's cool.
Right.
Yeah. And Martin, this is the second or third time. I've been doing this for over a year. This is the second or third time we've had over 100 people in the stream, in the chat at one time. So,
Hey,
big
well,
shout
thanks
out
for joining, everyone. This is great.
This is great. This is a lot of fun. Cheers to everybody. Much love. Thank you. It's at 103 right now, and on YouTube it's 103 as well. So thank you to everybody who's here. The last couple weeks we started earlier, and I'm not going to do that anymore. Last week was Nikita. He's in London, so it was.
Yes.
I think I started at 4 o'clock, and it was 9 or 10 o'clock his time. And then the week before that, it was Kyle. He's got a family, and he's got things going on, so he wanted to start it at 7 o'clock. I don't like starting it. I don't like starting it earlier or later, and I don't think I'm going to do that ever again. So, Martin, that's awesome that we're on the same time. We're on the same schedule tonight, so I really appreciate it. So nobody had to.
Yeah.
I'll start later. It's better to be later on the East Coast. It's better to be later on the East Coast because it was a different vibe when I was in San Diego because we would start at 6 o'clock. But that's kind of
9 o'clock our time.
yeah, that's kind of early for the West Coasters.
Right.
But whatever. So 9:30 I think is a good one. But it's just start drinking 6 beers at 9:30 at night. But we'll see. But I'm glad everyone's here. It's always fun. It's always been a good time. Will D has super chatted $5. Lost the D future man. Cheers to having 100 people here. Thank you, Will D. He's also a member. Martin's over there. He's got two cameras going on. What cameras do you have? Which bodies do you use? 'Cause I'm kind of in the market.
So
What up,
yeah,
Just
so
Brewing?
I have a bunch. I have a Panasonic GH5,
GH5
which is
Lumix.
mounted, permanently up. That's my primary camera right now.
Okay.
And then the top camera is another Lumix. It's a G7 or a G85, like pretty old one,
I think
but just for the
Clawhammer has
top down
one.
view.
Okay.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
We basically have the same cameras, and then I ended up getting a Sony camera, Sony A7S III, because the Sony autofocus is better than the Panasonic. So where this is a fixed camera, I can just manually focus it, and that's not a problem. But if I'm shooting stuff on brew days, it's kind of annoying when the focus is not sharp. So I ended up getting a Sony camera for that.
We'll talk more off this. I have a Sony A7 II, and I can't stand the autofocus, and I always have to keep it at auto because I film everything. I don't have any friends out here. I know some pros
exactly.
out here. Yeah, but I do use. I'll take a 7-inch or a 5-inch Feel World external monitor, and I'll put it on another tripod so I can see what I'm doing all the time. Do you do that?
Oh,
Or-
I used to do that. I used to do that.
You
but
have
when
to.
I was filming with the GH5s, I had to do that.
I started doing that when COVID first hit and everybody was puckered up, and I still wanted to put out content, but I didn't want to have a filmer guy over. But
Right.
what do you got right there? What are you drinking?
So now we're on to
Yes, sir. We're drinking 6
a
beers tonight.
Maybach.
A Maybach, like the car.
A Maybach from Carolina Brewing Company
Nice.
in Chapel Hill, North Carolina.
Chapel Hill is UNC, or that's Duke?
That's UNC.
That's the Tar Heels. Shout out to
Yeah.
Michael Jordan. I want to give a shout out to Yeast and the Beast in here. He put out a good video today, and his thumbnail was great. I'm working on my thumbnail game right now, and I'm just trying to get him better. And good job on that video, Beast, on which wort chillers to use. And he was drinking a Torpedo in that of Sierra Nevada. That's one of my favorite, definitely one of my
Nice.
favorite commercial beers. Yeah, definitely. What's up, Jerry?
Yeah. So, CH, do you have are you shooting in front of a green screen and just doing a bunch of YouTube faces? Because you always have the right expression to put on your thumbnails and whatnot.
I shot the other day, and it was tough just to get a picture, because the thumbnail, it's all about expression, whether
Right.
you have no idea what you're doing, or you just ate something super hot, or you just won the lotto, or you ate something super sour. And I've got this picture that I always tried to use. It was me screaming and holding up my fist, and I tried to recreate that the other day, and I couldn't do it. For whatever reason, the picture wasn't coming out good. It just wasn't working. And yeah, I had to take some other stuff. But yeah, there's some days where I just shoot the thumbnails, and it's just an hour of me being the biggest loser on planet Earth in this little office, taking pictures of my face and just copying what other people do that are successful and hope that it works.
That's the way to go.
That's the reality.
Yeah.
Of it. There's nothing cool. There's no rad story. It's just you in your room with a camera trying to get some clickbait going. And that. There's no other way to put it. And
yeah.
I've talked to Kyle a lot because I would always put the thumbnail up as the video would upload. And this is the first year I'm actually figuring out, staring at my analytics and when people dip off and which videos get more views than others. And Kyle taught me a trick to work backwards. So instead of brewing or filming or I'm going to do this, just start with the thumbnail. I mean, I know what I'm going to make. I know which beer I'm going to make, but before I even brew, we'll start with the thumbnail and then the title. Because I used to make 25-minute videos, and I'd promote all this stuff at the end. And then, I've been making videos for 5 years, off and on, but consistently for about 2 years. And when I started looking at the analytics, I'd have a 20-minute video on how to clean a keg. And at the end, I'd be like, hey, check out this channel or the Hoppy Hour, or here's the merch store. And 90% of the audience was already gone by minute 3. I didn't know that. I just assumed that if you had 1,000 subscribers, all subscribers are going to watch every second of your video. And that's the exact opposite, So now I have kind of a backwards thought process of why the hell is there even going to be one person on planet Earth that will watch this video? Start with that. So it's a little bit different. We got a super chat from Ryan. It's a little bit different, and I look at yours. You've got very good thumbnails. Trent's got good thumbnails. Stillet's got good thumbnails, and just putting the question mark on there, little things like that, putting things in question format, can get 2 or 3 times the amount of exposure, and you just kind of see the world a little bit differently. And it's a good thing to do because at the end of the day, I don't think there's such thing as clickbait. However, I mean there is, but getting people to click in a world full of Snapchat and Instagram and a million other channels they're subscribed to and music on the radio, and to get their attention is almost impossible. So,
right.
These are the things I'm beginning to learn now.
The retention thing was kind of scary because you can see on YouTube exactly where people are turning off, right?
Yeah.
And then you can start to pick things out. If I talk to camera straight for 3 minutes with not even a camera angle change,
no B-roll,
no one's watching at the end of that 3 minutes.
No. And you had a very good video. I want to give a shout out to Ryan here. He's got a question for you. Ryan Sandberg in the house, who was named after Ryan Sandberg, his dad named him from the All-Star second baseman on the Chicago Cubs. He wants to, for Martin, have you considered going back through the challenge and rebrewing the styles you think you could have done better, like the Rausch beer? I brewed that beer and I regretted that.
Oh,
Smoky
yeah.
beer.
So, yeah, that was the smoky beer. I mean, I brewed it with
Thanks, Ryan.
95% cherry smoke malt, and
That's a
you were
lot.
supposed to brew
That's a
20%.
lot. 40%
When I went to the
max. 40%.
Yeah, when I went to the homebrew store, and I'm like, oh, I need 5 pounds of this. They're like, we have
Right.
to go out back and
Right.
find some of this.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I'm gonna make a phone
I
call.
absolutely need to rebrew the Rausch beer with reasonable amounts of smoked
10%.
malt in it.
Yeah.
10%, 20%, something like that. But that wasn't the only smoked beer in the 99, and I didn't like any of them, to be honest. I did not like smoked beers.
What about
So-
just one gallon? Not 1 gallon. What about just one beer? 1 pint of smoked beer, I think is delicious. No more than that, though. So it's a weird thing to be stuck with a
Yes.
3 to 5 gallon batch of it. I threw mine out, and it was a perfect
Yeah.
smoky beer. It's very easy to do. It's just all in the malt.
Yeah.
Did you
And I
drink
have
all
gone back
yours?
and no, we did the tasting, and then it was
Christmas
ditch the keg.
presents. Yeah.
Like it was like 3 lots of PBW in that keg to try and get the smoke out afterwards.
Damn.
It was unpleasant all around. It
Yeah.
really was. But I mean, I have brewed some of the other beers again, just because they've come around and I wanted to do, a Kolsch or
Yeah.
cream ale and stuff like that.
I think I bought a cream ale. We're gonna drink that next.
Yeah, that's always a good one.
Cream ale is a great
but-
beer to brew because you can drink all 5 gallons pretty leisurely. Even West Coast IPAs
Yeah.
can be kind of gnarly for me.
No, I'm really starting. I went into the challenge really liking Belgian beers, particularly triples, doubles, quads, big beers, really, big ester profiles. And I've sort of come out of it preferring simpler, lower alcohol beers, I think, a little bit.
I think that's just the biggest trend in beer right now. Everybody's going
Yeah.
4 or 5%, and it makes money. It makes sense because
Right.
you can make a lot more money
Yeah,
that
makes
way.
sense.
It was kind of weird back when the craft beer scene took off in San Diego, 2013, 2014. Maybe, yeah, give or take a year. But everything was double IPA and 8% beers. It was like, realistically, your customers can't have more than 3, So everyone's bar tab is $15. But if you do
Yeah.
4 or 5% beers or sessions or hard seltzers or pilsners, people could drink 6. And you could
Right.
double
Yeah, I mean,
your
that makes
income
sense.
based off per capita, each person. So it's just times have changed. People have peeled back. But good question, Ryan, man. Much love. But back to the whole audience retention thing, I get heat for not putting in a mandatory beer chug clip, which I love, and it's out of control. And sometimes I try to do it where it's about 60 seconds. But I look at the analytics, and there's a serious dip. Every time I put that in there, people maybe leave the video or just fast forward it. I don't know. I'll never know. And then if I don't put the NBC clip in there, I'll hear about it in the comment section. So I got to kind of figure out, and I want that to be always in a Homebrew for Life grain to glass video, but I need to throw it in there maybe more subtly. Subtly. But yeah, it's funny. It's funny looking at your analytics and thinking, wow. And this rolls over to Instagram or Facebook, people post all this stuff all day. It's like, I scroll through it. I double tap my friend's stuff. I don't even read the caption. It could say, hey, I'm on my deathbed, or I'm going to give you $1 million. Half the time I don't even know. So it's just weird getting people's attentions in this day and age. It's I've always said it. I think the smartphone for me is self-inflicted ADD or ADHD. Everyone's got it now. And when I edit, I put my phone in my car. In San Diego, I had a PO box, and I'd run across the street, and I'd put it in there, and I'd lock it, and I would unplug my internet. And everyone's like, "Well, ADHD is through the roof." From the '60s, the '70s, and '80s. It's like, well, yeah, in the '60s, there was one TV downstairs. People were forced to do their homework and study. And then in the '80s, people might have had TVs in their, I'm talking high school kids, might have had TVs in their room at that point. So it's just distraction. And then in the 90s, it's video games. And I remember the tech deck, the little fingerscape thing when I'd go off. And now the smartphone came out. It's like, yeah, of course everybody has ADHD right now. There's a phone that's beeping every 5 seconds. It's almost impossible to focus in.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I got mine right here. It's beeping too. Look at this. I've got Snapchat. I've got YouTube. It's us. It's the Happy Hour Challenge. And I went back to flip phone last year. I went through a breakup and I always wanted to go to flip phone. I figured this would never be a better time. I don't want to, go down these weird things of who is following who, ex-girlfriend is friends with this person now. And I had a flip phone. I don't even think it had a vibrator, but I would always feel this phantom buzz, like an iPhone thing, and it wasn't there, but I could have sworn I felt it.
Mm-hmm. I know exactly what you
So
mean.
many times.
I get that on my wrist. Like when I'm not wearing my watch, sometimes I'll feel my wrist vibrate.
Yes.
Like, no, that didn't happen.
It's in your head. It's just all in your head. But I could have sworn I got a little zap or stung by a mosquito or something. I felt it there, right where my pocket is, right on my hamstring.
Yeah.
And it's not there.
Right.
So it's tough competing for attention. It's tough. Imagine it on like a bigger scale. The other night I put on Stranger Things the first time, the new season, episode 1, and I just went straight back to my phone like that. So I just put my phone in the kitchen and then came back in. I watched it and it was a great episode. It was way scarier than I ever remembered. But yeah. And then, try to relate to putting out hey, everybody come look at my brew day. It's like, why would anybody give a shit about this? So that's kind of how I start the first 30 seconds of Homebrew for Life. I definitely put the most emphasis into the first 30 seconds. So hopefully,
yeah, I think that's the way to do it.
That's the way to do it.
It's funny you mentioning the beer chugging thing because we have a bit of a running joke with my beer tasters because I have multiple people come in for different beer tastings.
Yeah,
and no chugging is the rule because it's not sponsor friendly. No beer chugging is allowed.
Because it's not what?
If anyone does it, if anybody tries to chug their beer during the beer tasting, it is cut from the video.
Yeah.
It's not sponsor friendly.
I like that.
I may be being a little too anal about this.
I like that. That works.
down to.
That works. In my house, you have to chug beers. No one gets to leave sober. Nobody. I'm grabbing you by the heels, pulling you back in as your fingernails are ripping out. No, I'm kidding. I don't have any friends. I have no friends out here, and I love it. I love it out here. A lot of people complain about not having friends. I love it. I was a big burnout in San Diego. I lived in the same town that I grew up in my whole life. So it was just gross. It was just everyone knew everybody and everybody dated the same girls and guys and vice versa. And then you throw social media on top of that. And it's really like this town just became one giant high school forever. San Diego is the one place where you could be one step up from being a bum and you can still be cool in that town. So I had to get out of there. And I might jump on your page of brewing 2.5 gallons because I have nobody to drink beer with anymore over here. So I don't know how I'm going to go through a 5-gallon batch and keep turning out content because I'm only going to have 2 beers on at any time.
Right.
Max 2 beers. Yeah.
This is the thing. If it's
No
just
friends
like
for
you
life.
and maybe, right? If
Yeah.
it's just a few of you drinking it, I just get so sick of the same beer. And
Yeah.
I want to do a new one. So I would like to do smaller than 3-gallon batches, but all my equipment doesn't really support anything less than maybe 2.5 gallons with a little bit of tweaking.
Mm-hmm.
The claw hammer system can brew, I think 2 is the least it can do.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to do like smaller batches than that maybe at some point.
More
Just try
batches?
stuff out. Smaller,
Smaller.
but more frequent.
Have you ever thought
Yeah,
about doing
so-
2 batches at the same time?
Yeah, I've done that. Done that a few times.
What was your take on that? Did you film it or were you just doing like efficiency? Can we just crank out 2 in one day fast? Or was
Well,
that
I've
an
done
actual
2 in one
challenge?
day. I've done 2 in one day, but I've done a couple of side by side brews. So I did one with a friend. I brought my equipment to his house, and we both brewed the same beer but in a different way.
Okay.
And then when the Clawhammer
Wow.
folks were here, we also have done a side by side video. That's not come out yet, but they brew a beer, I brew a beer, and we're doing it together using 2 clawhammer kettles at the same time.
Got it.
It's really fun. It's actually really fun to knock out 2 like that, and then at the end of it, you're filling up 2 fermenters, which is nice, and you haven't really used any extra time.
How many systems do you have? How many realistically could you do? 3 or 4? How many burners you got? Kitchen stove, propane?
Well, I've got the 240 system, I've got a 120 system, and then I've got like this clawhammer starter system, which you just put on like a hot plate or whatever you have, or,
That's what I have.
propane.
That's what I use.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess I could do 3 at once.
That'd be a video. That would be a live stream day. I think a lot of people would tune in for that.
Yeah, maybe. As long as there was some help, because that's too much to do by yourself.
You need help. Brian does it, and his wife is involved. And then when Barbecue Larry does it, he's got the whole neighborhood block over. I don't even know who I'm talking to, and I'm throwing $10 at it, and it's the neighbor down the street. Larry probably doesn't even know who the hell it is. But you got to have somebody engaging with the chat, and then you got to be brewing and cleaning and filling up water and weighing stuff out. So it's tough to do. I won't do it. I don't think I'll ever do it. But if I did, I would want to have at least 2, maximum 4 people there.
Yeah,
not by myself.
So. Blown Fuse IPA would be about right. I like that. 99 beers in 33 weeks. Yeah, the limiting capacity has not been the amount of brew kettle. It's been like
brew show
somewhere to put it and whatnot. Yeah.
What up, Trent?
Hey, hello, Trent.
How did you end up connecting with Trent? Because Trent just started YouTube not too long ago, and you guys did a collab about a year ago. How did that work?
Yeah, I got in early. I can't remember how we both got together, but I was like watching his videos and like, holy shit, have you got like a production company working on your videos?
Yeah.
Because they were so good.
Yeah.
And then I started telling me that no, it was just him. And I
Yep.
was just like, right. Can we do a video together? Because then I'll get it on my channel and it'll look good.
What was the video again? It was pretty obscure.
Yeah, so we brewed a Sati beer,
S-A-L-T-I?
which is a raw beer. S-A-H-T-I. I think
Got
it's
it.
Norwegian.
Okay.
It's raw, so no boil and no hops. You use juniper berries to bitter the beer, or juniper branches if you can get hold of them.
Got it.
That was really weird beer.
It was a weird beer.
Yeah. Oh, vanilla cream ale.
Yeah,
like
I've got
actual vanilla in that.
I'll tell you in a second. I haven't had a sip yet. I'm on number 3. Are you still working on number 2?
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
This is number 3. I'm kind of one step ahead of you. Tennessee Ales, Black Horse Brewery. I've been to this brewery downtown Tennessee, which is like a mile away from my house, and I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. It just, I don't know. It felt like it was 1974 when I walked in there. It was just a tasting room, production somewhere else. But I picked this beer out today, and for the first time, I looked at who brewed it, and it's Black Horse. So we'll see again, but it's a vanilla cream ale, 8 IBUs, 4.8% ABV. And we'll give it a go with my Northern Brewer glass tonight. Shout out to Todd. I'm going to make that Kegel video, or not the Kegel video. I'm going to make the I need a chest freezer bad. I haven't brewed in about 6 months, honest to God. And he sent me a lot of stuff to build a kegerator or a freezer, and I got to do that. I'll try to do that before I go to Europe next week. I got drunk last week and bought a ticket to Stockholm. I'm going to try to build it before that. It's really easy to do. But I got to get that going. I got to start brewing again. But without further ado, Black Horse Vanilla Cream Ale. Smells like vanilla. I could already smell it. It's in circulation, so you know that that's extract. It's not vanilla bean. I think. I'd bet that it was extract.
That's not sounding promising, to be honest. I'm not a big vanilla fan, to be honest.
Really? This is a great beer. This is a good beer. This tastes like Cali Creamin' from not modern times, Mother Earth. They took over the world with that beer. Cali Creamin', it was just straight vanilla extract. Every non-IPA drinker's dream. But it's good. Check it out. It looks like me and Trent's Pseudo lager. but it's good. It kind of looks like a shandy. Kind of looks like a watered down IPA or hazy or something.
So what's a snake bite? Is that Guinness and cider?
You know what's funny? That video just showed up on my YouTube television last night with Kyle and Emmett, and I watched that video. That's so crazy that you just brought that up. And there was cider and stout.
Cider and stout, yeah.
Cider and stout, yeah.
I never had it. Never had that. I don't like to dilute my Guinness.
It's an obnoxious beer. It's a black and tan. You got to take the spoon. You got to hold it upside down. Do the half pour. Let it settle. If you screw it up, you can't serve it. It's just a fun thing to drink. I don't know. We used to do that when we were younger, but
yeah, the black and tan is good. I like that. Oh, I see a shout out for NC Mother Earth. Weeping Willow Wit from Mother Earth is just fantastic. It's one of my favorite wit beers.
I remember that there was a cease and desist. There is a Mother Earth in North Carolina that's different from the one. They were in San Diego. They moved to Boise. I think they 100% moved to Boise, Idaho. But I remember that there was 2 Mother Earths, and the one in San Diego had the leverage. You know, if push came to shove, he could have sued them, but he was like, "Hey, you guys are so far away." He was cool about it. Dan from Mother Earth, the San Diego one, yeah. So there's 2 Mother Earths out there that are different brands. I think I'm getting buzzed, Martin. We do have some questions from earlier this week. We do have some questions. I've got a question though. What's the purpose behind your channel? Do you want to do this full time? Do you just want to grow as a brewer, or do you want to open up a brewery? Because that's usually the 3 most common answers. Or is it just a hobby?
I would say that I got into brewing and I started putting videos up on a different YouTube channel called Homebrew How To, which became the Homebrew Challenge. And the reason that I did that was because I was brewing with a friend and we have no freaking idea what we were doing. We were brewing extract at the time, no idea what we were doing. And we post videos under this name, Homebrew How To, which was ironic because we did not know how to. And then you'd put the videos up there.
Fake it till you make it. Homebrew for Life 101.
Yeah. But the great thing about YouTube is people, if you know, would like to tell you how much they know and how you're an idiot.
Michael James.
And we were putting up perfect content for being told what an idiot we were.
Yeah.
And I actually learned so much from that.
Yeah.
That I was like, right, I'm going to do this all the time, and I'm going to try stuff out. I'm going to post it, and then people can tell me what I'm doing wrong.
Yeah.
And you know, it's that sort of community kind of aspect has been really fun. And then I just like making videos and I like brewing beers. So it's like, why don't I just do the 2 things together? But there is no ulterior motive. I do not want to be a brewer or own a homebrew shop or anything like that, or do this full time. This is just
no brewery.
Kind of a fun hobby.
Never open up your own brewery.
No.
Yeah.
That seems like a lot of work, a lot of money, a lot of risk.
Yes. A lot of competition.
Right.
So were those first videos, were they getting some shine? Because most people, when they put out YouTube videos, they bomb and it's kind of depressing and they quit. As with anybody doing stand-up comedy or getting up on stage, 99% of the people, it doesn't work out how they play it to their head. Unless you get some laughs or some views or something going on in that first initial beginner's luck stage. What went on with those first couple of videos?
Yeah, I had beginner's luck. So I had a video.
Okay. That's why we're here right now.
I had a video brewing the same beer on a $300 and a $3,000 system. Okay. So I had my all-in-one fancy electric system.
Got some shine.
And then I had some friends come over with like homemade stuff. And we put that video out, and it's, I think, maybe still my most watched video.
No way. Your first video?
It wasn't the first, but it was one of the first. And then it got so many people watched it that when I started to go to my local homebrew store, I started to get recognized at the homebrew store.
It's cool.
Oh, that's the guy from the 300 versus 3000 brewing video.
That's rad.
It's like, wow, that's crazy. So yeah, it was beginner's luck. I mean, it was terrible thumbnail, really badly put together video, to be honest, but it had that comparing cheap to expensive thing, which seems to work really
Right.
well on YouTube.
Yeah,
And,
$300
yeah, got
steak
lucky.
versus $10,000 steak,
Right,
$2,000
exactly.
ice cream versus this. I bet you can't tell the. I bet you can't. Yeah, well, that's cool. And then I kind of have the same story. I didn't get as lucky as you. I think we got our first video that hit after about the 10th or 15th video, and that was right at the time where I was going to quit the channel. So you kind of have to have those things happen to stick around, because realistically, how much do you want to work for free? How much do you want to work and have 17 views and they're all 16,
Yeah.
16 of them are you,
Right.
and one's a sympathy one from your dad? Thanks, great
Right.
video, son. It's like he was the one that he didn't make it past 30 seconds, Dad. I love you, man, but I know you ain't watching my shit. But one day maybe I'll make
Yeah.
you proud. Proud
But then the other-
Dad IPA. What's up?
The other thing that sort of then spurred me on was once the channel got big enough, people started to want their stuff to appear on the videos,
Yeah.
and they would send me stuff.
Yep.
Like, so Warhammer, one of the first people to reach out to me, and like I already had a brewing system, and they're like, "Hey, would you like to use our brewing system?" And I was able to, throughout the 99 beer challenge, basically upgrade my brewery from using like plastic buckets
Yeah.
and really cheap gear to everything stainless steel and whatnot, and it all came from sort of sponsorships and stuff like that. So that was a nice side benefit of it.
You definitely pick and choose, though. Like, you don't even do social media, correct? You don't do Instagram?
No, I'm really bad at this stuff. I only have a YouTube channel. I'm not Instagram or anything.
Well, here's
Yeah.
the thing. I think you're doing it right, because the more that I kind of study the analytics and just what the more successful channels do to grow, there's a lot of YouTubers and people that are very successful on Twitch that don't mess with social media, that don't, or they maybe have a guy to do it at that point. But my
Yeah.
Instagram, my Twitter does nothing to promote the videos. My Instagram, I almost deleted it the other day because I looked at the analytics of what came from it, and there was another school shooting or something going on. I didn't want to see it, and I'm promoting it. Check out this new video with me and Clawhammer, and everyone's sending me all these media things of whatever. I'm not going to talk about it more than what I'm saying, but there was another school shooting, and I was just like, I looked at the analytics of what I did post. Like, you see on YouTube your referral traffic and external sources, and I think the YouTube channel got 10,000 views in 2 days. I've never had 10,000 views in a day before. And I looked at what I'd promoted my posts on Instagram, and I think I have 4,000 Instagram followers, and I got 13 clicks. So I divided 13 views by 4,000. It was like 0.0001. And everything's all school shooting, and I'm promoting all this dumb shit. I almost deleted it right then and there because I just don't think social media plays into the algorithm at all. You know, if you're putting out consistent YouTube videos, 8 minutes, concise, good thumbnail, I don't think you need social media at all.
This is not a strategy. This is just a can't really do social media, so I haven't done it.
Don't do it. Don't
yeah,
do it.
that's
I don't
interesting.
think you're going to get anything out of it. You might get one or two people, but as much as you're going to be on it and stare at it and your buddy's sending you memes and this and that, I love Instagram for communication. There's people who I don't have their phone numbers and we talk. Alias, no.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we shoot each other stuff all day. But as much as I'm on it, it doesn't do anything at all for Homebrew for Life. And that's weird because you would think 4,000 followers or subscribers or followers would be way more of a splash than just 13 clicks. So I dig it, man. I dig your style. But, teach their own. Everyone's got kind of a love-hate relationship with social media. And back to the whole ADD thing and distractions. Don't do it, Martin.
Okay. So what I will do though is Lady in Red Amber Ale. This is from Bombshell.
Yes, we'll both
Beer
do it.
Company.
We got a dysfunctional member. Sorry, go for it.
Yeah, these guys are local to me, and it's the North Carolina's first 100% women-owned
Hey now.
and operated brewery.
I like that. Prost with Peter would like that
Female
too.
brewers, why not?
I'm gonna get really. We're getting weird, Martin. You see this one right here? We're gonna get super weird. I don't know why I bought this. I think I bought it based off the logo, and then when I brought it home, I looked at the bottom and I saw the mango and habanero. So we're gonna get weird.
Ooh,
Yeah,
interesting.
we're gonna get spicy. Blake's hard cider from our backyard since 1946. Damn, 1946. What was that, Prohibition? We got a Dysfunctional Father Brewing. Became a member for 2 months. Come on down. Much love, Braj. Thank you, Dysfunctional. Can you hear my sound clips coming through? Come here. Bob Barker and Scorpion and.
No.
Can nobody hear those except for me?
Back off, war child, seriously.
Get over here!
Oh, we're done. I'm not making any more. We're good to go. If it's working, don't fix it. Or what do they say? Don't fix it unless it's broken. All right, so the cream ale's good. I vouch for the vanilla ale. You're on number 3. I'm on number 3.5. How's that beer, Martin?
This is really actually quite nice. Very malty,
You're digging it.
malty amber ale.
You're digging it. Is there a regulators button? Much love, man. We still got the brew show here. And Beer Mountain just became a member. Much love, Beer Mountain. BIER. So I'm going to keep interrupting myself because we do have questions for you. People wanted to know, put out some things on YouTube social media. I've been utilizing that a lot more because you can unlock. Do you do any YouTube social media? Like post, not shorts, but you can post on there from your phone. It's a little bit more user
Yeah, I
interface savvy.
saw you did that for this live stream actually that you posted. I never do that either. No.
Clawhammer doesn't do it, but I get really good feedback. I thought it was dead weight and people didn't look at it. And for the most part, it's 100% all mobile. Like if you post on the desktop, you got to click on community and this and that. But I think all the engagement comes from people on their phones and their stories.
Interesting.
Yeah, so maybe look into that a little bit more because I consider that social media. It's posting and stories and 24-hour stories or 7-day stories. But yeah, look into that. So we got some questions. I don't know. Some of this shit's stupid. I don't even know why I write this stuff down. But I got a question. I got a question for you. I got drunk last Wednesday. I bought a ticket to Stockholm, Sweden to crash in on my old boss's, owner of Booze Brothers and Vistas, trip, Donnie Firth, one of my good buddies. They're going to go to Estonia and Finland. And I recruited another buddy. Not only was I not invited, but I brought a friend. And we were going to go to Berlin and Czech Republic. And we learned really fast that Berlin is a lot more expensive than Prague. Do you recommend any good beer drinking cities that are affordable? Because I didn't know. I thought everything was the same, like a typical ignorant person, American. But it's a lot kind of like America. You know, there's expensive states and there's cheaper states. And we are going to stay in Prague the majority of the trip because I heard it's beautiful and you can get a liter of beer for about $1.75 American.
I would like to, before you go to Prague, I would like to apologize
I'm writing this down.
on behalf of the British people for the Brits that you're going to meet in Prague.
Okay.
Because it's kind of known as the place where you go for the beer weekend. People buy these flights from London for like £5-10, super cheap. They fly them to Prague. They then drink this super cheap beer, make asses of themselves, and then fly back. Not to stereotype, but that's what you're going to see.
Okay. Looking forward to it. We've got a pretty crazy terrace rooftop. We're not staying in hostels. We're too old. I'm 37. The guy who I'm going with, he makes a ton of money. He's a executive. I don't know if he's an executive, but he works for NBC in LA. He's one of my few friends that makes an insane amount of money. And we have our own terrace rented out in
that'd be great.
Yeah, I'll show you a picture. In Praha 1. So from my understanding, Prague is one of the best cities because it's badass The Nazis occupied it early, so they never bombed it. So everything's original. It was never
Yep.
built back. It's way more affordable than Berlin, even just from Airbnb standpoint, because it seems like everybody in Prague, not everybody, but everybody on the street, at least every street you look at, people rent out their houses as Airbnbs. So we were particular because we want our own place, and we want our own bedrooms, 2 beds, 2 baths. That's the big thing. Everyone's got the Wi-Fi, the kitchen. Nobody needs more than 1 bathroom when you're on vacation.
Right.
That's fine. But I think in Prague, which is way smaller than Berlin, if you type in that criteria, entire place, 2 bed, 2 bath, I think there was 500 places that showed up. And in Berlin, there was less than 100. And Berlin's a way bigger city. And it's more expensive. Just to drink and transportation and food and stuff like that. So do you have any recommendations of Poland, or am I kind of stereotyping? I figure everybody from England just goes to every country every weekend and knows everything.
Yeah, I have not been pretty much anywhere in Eastern Europe at all. So I've never been to Prague, which is crazy.
You've never been?
Or Poland? No. I mean, I've been to Germany, but I haven't been to Berlin either.
You've been to Munich?
Yes, I've been to Munich. I've been to Stuttgart. They have a equivalent to Oktoberfest in Stuttgart called Volksfest, which is just the same sort of thing. I mean, these things are insane. They just have these massive beer tents, and you sit there and they have sort of like local celebrities coming in, and the costumes, and you go up on the table doing the beer song, and then they have all these fairground rides. So you go on these fairground rides. I went on this thing called the Transformer, and they were trying to attract people to come onto it because it was quiet. So they had us on this thing, and it spins you around super, super fast for 12 minutes. 12 minutes without stopping on this ride. And I'd had 4 liters of beer just before getting on.
You were going to recreate the scene from the Sandlot when they try to eat chewing tobacco or beef jerky. Chewing tobacco, for sure. That's funny.
Yeah, that was the end of my day.
Yeah. But no cities.
But yeah, Stuttgart was lovely.
Other than that,
but
though,
nowhere Eastern Europe. I mean, how far afield are you going to go? Like Western Europe, I've been most places there, Germany and Italy, and I mean, I'd love to go to Belgium, do a beer tour there with some of the Trappist breweries.
Yeah, Apartment Steve just got back, but as far as my European experience, it's just been England and Spain. And I want to go to Portugal because I've heard Porto is a very affordable city. And you're on the beach. It's rad. There's not too many. I was on the beach in Spain. I went to Alicante. I've been to Wimbledon. I've been to London's huge. My short stay in Europe, my short experience, I highly recommend Alicante, which is on the eastern side of Spain, a little bit close to France. But you're on the Mediterranean Sea right there. But other than that, I got no Europe experience, and I love Europe.
That sounds like a reasonable amount of Europe experience, to be fair.
Nothing. Who's talking shit? What up, Maury? Nothing. I mean, I've just been as west as you can go. Nothing. I guess obviously in England, everyone speaks English. I guess Spain was about 50-50. No, Madrid was about 50-50, but Alicante was about 75-25 because I bought a ticket to Alicante, and the second day I was like, I'm out of here because I don't know anybody that could speak English, and I bought a ticket to, what's the smoke weed everywhere? Amsterdam. And one day I was in my hostel, and in Europe there's you know how you buy food out here, you put $1 in a vending machine, but you can buy beers out there.
Yeah.
You put in $1 or you put in €1 and a canned beer comes out. And I remember buying all these beers. I was probably 23, 24. And I was walking back upstairs and I said, what up to this guy? And he's like, hey, what's up? And I was like, whoa, you speak English? He's like, yeah, I'm upstairs. I'm on the rooftop. I'm chugging beers up there. And I went up there. He was a professional Canadian football player named Torrey Locker. And I'll always remember this because I hate tomatoes with all my heart. There's nothing on planet Earth That's more disgusting than a tomato. And he was drinking beer.
Mushrooms are worse.
You can't do mushrooms? I can do mushrooms,
No.
especially if they're grilled. And he was cutting up sausage and tomatoes, and he was eating tomatoes like it was an apple. And he was one of the coolest guys I've ever met, and I didn't make it to Amsterdam. I didn't make it to Holland or Netherlands. I don't know what the correct PC word to use is. And it was kind of a bummer because looking back, I hung out with this guy. We chilled every day for about 7 days. He was a Canadian football player, so when it wasn't football season, he just traveled and stayed in dorms and then would go online and do drunken beer games with his friends back in Canada. And it was cool, but I never made it to Amsterdam. That would have been pretty. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I would have died. Maybe it was a good thing I didn't go. But you know about you know about all the European airlines over there. They're very asshole-ish, and there is no refunds or money back. Or if you want to bring a bag on, it's not free. It's a lot different than American. It's a lot different than Southwest.
No, it's like everyone's like Frontier Airlines.
Ryanair, EasyJet,
Ryanair,
Spanair, yeah.
But they're super cheap, so it's cheap to get
It's
around.
cheap, but yeah. I think if you're like way over 200 pounds, they probably charge you double. I mean, it's real. You want to bring a dog on or this or that, it's not free. But we're going in. Hey, this is round 4, and I'm doing my mango and habanero Blake's hard cider. So we'll see.
Do you have that crazy hard seltzer you were telling me about?
The Mountain Dew one?
Yeah.
I bought it last night and I drank one. It was disgusting.
As expected, I guess.
Well, it was weird because I thought that hard seltzers are still a thing. They're definitely still around. I don't think they're as popular as they're as popular, but I don't think people are trying to open up hard seltzeries as much as they were. And I thought they were kind of late to the game. Mountain Dew, hard seltzer. Oh, it's the fizz. It's the head retention. It was just kind of a weird sell. Hard seltzer, Mountain Dew, late to the game. But sure enough, I've got a liquor store, gas station right across the street. And right in front of everything right there, they've got a big tower right when you walk in with the best product placement in the world. Everybody who walks in there has to see it. So I bought it, and I wanted Martin to buy it. I wanted Martin to drink one with me.
I looked for it. I couldn't find it. Yeah.
And it just tasted like... It didn't taste like hard seltzer. It tasted way more like soda. 5%, no sugar on it. Anytime something tastes like soda and says no sugar on it, it scares me because there's a lot of overcompensation for why it tastes so sweet. You know, especially with all the weird shit that we put into our bodies, all the GMO stuff nowadays. I'd almost just want it to be sugar in there, like a Mexican Coca-Cola. Azúcar.
Oh, Mexican Coke. That's the
best.
That's the stuff.
That's the best.
I mean, I looked in a bunch of grocery stores, a couple of bottle shops, and didn't find it. But I don't drink hard seltzer very much, like at all.
Either do I.
I hadn't realized how much hard seltzer was in a typical grocery store now. Like, it's an entire fridge just for hard seltzer.
Mm-hmm. Do you recognize the brands now? Are you kind of starting to see? I mean, there's the Trulies and the White Claws everybody knows about, but do you see?
Right, Truly, White Claw, and then all the Bud ones and whatever.
Yeah, but, Corona, Bud.
Yeah.
Ashland might be still in the top 5. But, I mean, I get it. It's cheap to make, easy to make. Once you get it down,
right.
you've gotten it down. Everything's just extract. It's probably not that much more expensive to make LaCroix, the hard water ones. It's got to be that much more than that. And they sell that, what, about 12 packs, like $3?
Yeah, and it appeals to people like fruity stuff, right? So it just appeals to people that aren't going to like beer, maybe. I don't know. It's just not for me, but it's incredible how popular it is.
You know what's funny is that it took so long. You would have thought this thing would have been around forever.
Well, like in the UK, we call them Alco Pops in the 90s, which was really a similar sort of thing, but it was made from typically vodka.
This is
So
good, by the
vodka
way.
and some sort of fruit thing. And
Okay.
a lot of people would drink that
Vodka soda. Vodka soda.
vodka soda.
It's
Yeah,
flavored lime citrus vodka soda.
right. Okay, I need to
Number 4.
revisit my cooler here. Yep.
Can we get at any point, can we get a tour? Can you pull? No, because you've got Panasonic.
No, I can.
Can we kind of get the MTV Cribs? What up, Roswell's? Chris Vodka in the house. Dublin Dr. Pepper. Sunset Hound. 14 to 20 bucks, a 12-pack too. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Sunset Hound knows what's up. What's up, Patrick Shanny? Still here, man. Much love, Patrick. Yeah, we're all friends. I didn't mean that I don't have any friends. I'm saying I don't have any friends where I'm at. My closest friend is I got buddies in Nashville, and then Climber boys. I think Emmett hates me. I'm friends with Kyle, but I just think Emmett hates me.
Nobody.
What's up? He hates nobody. What up, Roswell's? Hope everything's going good with Roswell's. New job.
All right.
Oh, here we go.
Can you camera? All right.
Yeah, let me go ahead and put you on. Let's go ahead and make this one. Whoa, let's go to fit to screen. Okay, because I've got you on here. Let's put you above all. Bay, before everything else. Let's go. Give me 1 second, Martin. And okay, I think we're good to go. It's about as good as I get. Go for it, though.
Okay. So this
Yeah, chest freezer.
the tasting thing. Yeah. So there's
Two
a bunch
chest
of chest freezers. This is a freezer.
Is that for
over
sale?
here. I've sold like so many chest freezers, and that I bought secondhand over the years. This is my Kiza, so that's connected to the other side of this. This wall is my finished part of my basement,
Got it.
and that's where the. Let's see how far I can go over here.
Josephied. He's pissed off. You're telling him that that's a fake brick wall?
That is a fake brick wall. Sorry, fake brick wall.
Looks great.
Then I have another little chest freezer over here, and just some storage stuff. So I've just got a ton of like. here's my cameras.
Damn. Keep it on that for a second. This is my language. Okay, so you've got that one's on right now, and you're connected XLR. Okay. And then, okay, you've
Yeah,
got
and
two
that's
microphones.
the second camera,
Okay.
and then I have this overhead camera.
Oh, how do you connect that? What's that? Just, is that connected to a rafter or something?
Yes, that is. If I zoom up, it's just
Got it. Okay.
up there. Yep. So that all just sits there doing its thing.
Nice.
Then
Dude.
I've got a little coffee station here. So I have a coffee channel called Key on Coffee.
We'll plug that when you come back, when we can see you again.
Let's see how far around the corner I can get. So
And this
This
is a
is
basement,
brewery.
correct?
yes, this is a unfinished basement.
Unfinished basement. Shout out to Apartment Steve, man. He went from the apartment brewer to the basement brewer. You guys
Right.
will get tattoos. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's just the brewery here. So I've got the sink, the kettle, and I don't know if my cable's long enough. Hold on. To go around the corner. Yeah, you can't really see, but just around the corner there are my fermenters.
Looks like a Spike
that-
Flex.
That's right. Yeah, it's so I've got two spikes, a CF5 and a Flex Plus, and they're hooked up to a collectible chiller.
Did you get those for free or did you pay for them?
Nothing is being bought. It's all sponsored.
It's all sponsored. You didn't have to answer that, but I appreciate that, man. That's cool. I talked to them for a little bit, but they wanted me to do a 10-minute video, and I was like, I don't know.
Oh, I had to do more than 10-minute video, but yeah. Then I have my sort of ingredients, so I don't really use this much anymore because
Nice.
Atlantic Brew Supply give me the pre-bagged ingredients mainly.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, so these are here. Some of these are really old grains now, specialty grains that have been here for
Keep them airtight, and they're good
years.
for years, as long as they're not going through a
I
mill.
think so.
Oh
think
yeah,
so.
I used the same bag of two-row for 3 years one time.
Yeah.
There's your mill. I'm in the market right now for a mill. Damn, what is
Oh
that?
yeah, so I have a monster mill. It's like a basic one. It's
Nice.
The two-roller one.
Dude,
And
this
then
is a lot of people's dreams right now.
I can see them here. Dark to see, but I can't see that.
Is that cannular
have-
or October?
No, so October.
October?
Yeah, the benchmark.
Nice.
And then I have this is the 20-gallon full hammer.
That's like the $2,000 one with everything.
Yeah, I did a collab with them where we did a really big beer. So
Marty Cribs. This is awesome, man.
And then in here, I want to grab something. So when I put together my recipes, I put together 5 or 6, and then Atlantic Brew Supply will just give me these bags of beer. So this one is called Mystery.
Uh-huh.
So my mystery beer that I'm working on next.
Okay.
I just have a sack. Find these weights here. It's like a sack of grains, all milled, pre-milled, ready for brew days. And yeah, that's it.
It's badass, man. Yeah, I appreciate that. That makes me want to buy a house even faster. And he's back just like that. Here we go. Okay, let me go and try to get back to how we had things going before. This is kind of what it looks like, and that's what it looks like on Discord. So I think we're back, and there he is. All righty. I think that's
All right.
that was awesome. Appreciate that. Thanks, Martin. Here he is. All right, just like that. We're an hour and 21 in. Are you doing good? Are we hanging out? We still got 90 people here, Martin.
For the next beer, I think I've got a.
You answered my question. Yes, sir. Goddamn right.
Yes, so this is from Brewery Bravana, which is in downtown Raleigh. Session IPA.
This is habaneros kind of kicking in on this hard seltzer.
Oh yeah, is it strong habanero?
Yeah, I'll never understand doing pepper beers. I get it. It's kind of a shock value clickbait beer, but it's just such a weird thing to do. It's the exact opposite of
Weird.
refreshing, cold, crisp. You have to drink something else to calm what you're drinking down. I don't know.
Right.
I think it's the ultimate niche beer. I think that's the most niche beer. I mean, what are the niche beers? We talked about Rausch beer.
Yeah, that's pretty niche.
Niche. Like quiche.
Niche.
Niche. Jalapeno IPA. It looks fun on a label. It doesn't taste that fun. It's not. Damn, I have to drink this. There's only that much left. It's cider. All cider kind of looks like cheap champagne or champagne.
Have you brewed a like a spicy beer like that? Like
No.
make one yourself?
No. I know.
Me neither.
No. The craziest beer I've probably ever done that I enjoyed was a dill pickle goza. I love that beer. I love that
wow.
beer. Yeah. And, sours are sour. It kind of tastes like vinegar by default. And then you throw in some dill. Like, what makes a sour? Everyone loves dill pickles. I love dill pickles. Why do we love dill pickles? It's a little bit of the dill, but it's mostly because the vinegar and the salt. It's the sodium. So I put that into a beer. This was back in 2000, maybe 18 or 19, when the sour craze was going full blast. And I saw a brewery that would do a hot dill pickle. I was like, why would you make it hot? What the fuck? You're doing two niches together? Just do one. Goza sours are probably the 4th most popular style. I'd put West Coast IPA, and then I'd put hazy, and then I'd put Pilsner, and then I'd put sour after that. So it's kind of on the cusp of cool and popular, but kind of in the back seat. And then you're going to do dill pickle, which is very niche, and then you're going to put peppers in it. So I just took the peppers out and I made it. And as you know, sometimes recipes need to get tweaked, and sometimes you just hit it right out of the park, and that's what's cool about homebrewing, and it was a delicious beer. So if there's ever a collab where we want to trade recipes, I do one of yours, you do one of mine, I'll definitely send you that one if you think you could drink 3 gallons of it, or just make the beer and throw it away. You know, who cares? It's YouTube.
So brew one of your recipes, you brew one of my recipes. Yeah,
I love
do
it.
Something.
What's
Yeah.
off the top of your head? What's your top 5 recipes you're like, this is better than the shit that I buy from the store?
I would give you an English bitter.
Okay.
So there's a few English bitters that I feel like I don't have many sort of recipes that I feel like are really perfected because I've just done so many different styles. And it's on to the next one.
Right.
But one of them that I have revisited a lot is English bitters, and I have a kick-ass English bitter recipe. So, but you have to serve it at cellar temperature, 55 Fahrenheit. No cold business.
Okay.
It doesn't taste as good. But yeah.
Duly noted. And that's kind of what they do with Guinness, right? The original Guinness factories, they do it at a different temperature.
Yeah.
So I've heard.
Although Guinness can be served cold as well, but yeah, I mean, generally when you get go to an English pub and they those beer engines, it's 55 Fahrenheit cellar temperature. It's not cold, and it's pretty flat. So it gets a bad rap, honestly, because flat and cold, that doesn't not cold, that doesn't sound good. But actually, it makes it very drinkable. And most of these English beers are 3-4%, so they're extremely sessionable as well. And people sit in the pub all day and drink 20-ounce pints of these things.
Let's do it. I don't know what your schedule is like for YouTube, but I'd imagine you're booked out for a couple months.
Oh, I don't plan any of this crap.
You don't? Clawhammer's booked
well,
out
I
for
mean,
a year.
really.
Yeah. Yeah, they got a new video coming out on Friday that I can't wait for because I love Lawson. I love Clawhammers. I just love Clawhammer. Clawhammer shreds.
It's so funny because when I went there for my 99th beer.
Yeah.
And this is a really big thing for me. I had my bag of grains. I put it in the passenger seat and drove to Asheville, 4 hours to Asheville.
Yeah.
Walked in. It's pissing down with rain, and we had this idea that we were gonna have these shots of me driving in through Asheville and then pulling up in front of their brewery and coming in, and it was raining. But Nathaniel, who works there, he's like, no worries. Let me get the drone out. And even though it was raining, he was flying the drone in the rain, following me. Lawson's in the passenger seat, filming me driving and whatnot. Yeah. We got all these epic shots, so it's fantastic.
It's always fun there. I mean, that's the ultimate dream job. I'm a little bit more... When we used to shoot at Homebrew for Life, hold on really quick. I got a super chat from Jesse Montalvo. He's tipped $10. He says, cheers, bras. Much love, Jesse. Much love. But it's back to Clawhammer. It's rad to see that this is somebody's job. And granted, Lawson and Nathaniel, we're all, when we're not there, they're just behind a computer editing and trying to make us look cool on the internet. And there's a lot of tedious work. But both times I've gone to Clawhammer, it was a hangout. It was no like do this or say that or this and that.
No, that's the thing, right? Like you see the finished videos, and I'm like, well, they've scripted this whole thing.
Yeah,
like weeks of planning have gone into it. No, like you get there, and we start brewing, and I'm like, have we started?
Yeah,
and we've started, and we're just gonna do some shit, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Well, we got our first. We got our first mandatory beer chug coming up. This is from Joseph Ide, man. Much love. He's always supporting the channel through and through. And again, I was there with Just Brewing in the house. I'm going to plug his channel. And he super chatted last week. Just, I haven't bought the chair yet, but it'll come tomorrow. I'm sitting on this thing like it's a stool. We'll do a mandatory beer chug here in a sec. Much love, Just and Joseph Ide and Jesse Montalvo. But yeah, Martin, I thought I was the biggest kook ever. Does Ross like me? Does this guy hate me? Does Emmett hate me? Me and Just were kind of the new kid in the classroom, the first day of school. And then by day 2, everything's, smoothed over. When they put the video out, I was like,
you and Ross, man. It was like,
I don't remember doing any of that.
Reunited.
Yeah, separated at birth,
Right.
And I don't remember, I remember wrestling Ross and doing arm wrestling and leg wrestling. But other than that, I don't remember doing any of this. And Lawson made me look so much cooler than I am. And I was like, holy shit, man, you could take me taking a shower, cleaning my house, and you can make me look cool, or you could make everybody look cool. That's what a good editor is. And holy shit, here we go. All right, here we go. Keys are fun. We got Brewing Bad Tennessee in the house. All right, you ready to chug a beer? You ready? Are you wearing the Ross t-shirt right now? We got another beer to chug. There it is. Ross against drunk driving. Martin, this is the best night.
Right.
This is the best night of the week. You know why? Because we could get as drunk as we want and nobody's got to drive. You're walking upstairs.
There
I'm
you go.
walking
Exactly.
to the left.
Exactly.
And we are keeping Rad alive. Ross against drunk driving. We did get another super chat from Brewing Bad TN. Tennessee in the house, man. Much love for that beer. I'm gonna do a Budweiser. You can do one with or without me, Martin, but I think the chat's gonna egg you on. Chris Vodka, check it out. He said he designed that T-shirt in the chat.
Really?
Yeah, he does all the graphics for us brew tubers. Yeah, Martin, how come you don't sell merch? How come you don't have anything I can buy?
I do have merch.
You don't promote it.
It's in the description. I don't know. I mean,
that's not promoting it. That's not nobody looks at the descriptions. Trust me, man. I put anything in there and no one's clicking on that shit. I don't even look at it. I don't even look at. Yeah, you got to wear it. You got to.
I set it up for myself so I could have a few things that I could wear occasionally, but I don't.
Can we plug it? Is Theron in here tonight? Theron's in here. Okay. Much love. Theron got a new job. Congratulations. He's the moderator in the chat. He's got the blue name and highlights with the blue little monkey wrench. He's the Braj. He doesn't have a YouTube channel, but he promotes. He helps kind of keep, he's a big dude in the community, at least for my channel. And he recently got a new job. So shout out to Theron. Much love. And Theron, if you could promote Martin's merch in the chat, that would be cool. That'd be much appreciated. What up, Battalion Rob? Out there in Florida. Todd Porter, plug the affiliate links on Discord. Martin. All right, Martin, I'm going to get a beer. I'm going to get an NBC beer. This is the first time in Knoxville that I've brought my cooler here, my blue Igloo cooler. But there's no
fancy.
Yeah, I'm moving on up, man. I'm moving on up. But let me go get a Budweiser from the kitchen. Be right back.
Yep. Okay, I'm just looking through these comments here. Appreciate all the questions. Somebody mentioned Trent. Was it Trent that mentioned the coffee channel? Am I doing any collabs with that? Funny story about that is I have a guy that I work with who owns a coffee blog, and he's been sending me like this crazy coffee system, like this $3,000 espresso system. Nuts. So I've been doing a collab with him on that. What else was in there? Somebody was asking about, I want to see Martin NBC. Okay. Man, this is fun. Do you guys do this every week? Okay, we're back at the social media. Don't do social media. Yeah. Nope. Okay, so I have 2 more beers. Every week. Yeah, impressive. So, Christopher, you really did design this Ross t-shirt? Like, this is pretty funny. The whole claw hammer thing with this is nuts. All right. So I've got 2 more beers. I have Coffee Hidden Pipe Porter from Riley Brewing Company, which is right next to Atlantic Brew Supply, the homebrew shop I use. And then one that is not from North Carolina, Firestone Walker beer. Bits on nitro, and nitro is one of my favorite beer ways to serve. So got that as well.
All right, here we go. Bartender.
All right, so you got the
shot of Jack.
What do you got?
I've got a butt wiper. It's American. But we're going to do an NBC. This is for Josephied. This is for Brewing Brad. TN, Tennessee in the house. And this means I'll probably delete the... So I typically take these down in the morning because the hangovers are bad enough. And then you have a live video of you on the internet from being drunk. I take it down. I'll probably take it down after I chug this beer. You kind of have to be here to be here. Yeah, that's kind of what streams are all about. But I think this is probably one of the better, more sometimes, like we talked earlier, I said no COVID other than that. But this is probably the most, like, one of the better podcasts or streams we've ever had. So thank you, Martin.
I like the name for this stream as well, the Homebrew Challenge. That's
the what?
Yeah, that's the point. I like you call this the Homebrew Challenge.
The Homebraj Challenge.
Yes, the Homebraj Challenge. I like it.
All
Okay.
right. Oh shit, we got another
is...
super chat. Dude, please use this to buy a new headset. Much love to Beer Mountain. You know what's going on right now? All the money that people are sending me right now, this is going to buy all my beers in Europe. These are going to be the beers in Stockholm, Sweden, in Berlin, and in Prague. And Martin, check this out. I want to show you my place I'm staying at. This is my place in Praha 1, downtown. Berlin's not that cool. Okay, here's my rooftop terrace. Can you see that? It might take like 5. Let me pull back a little bit. So we're on the top.
Whoa.
You see that?
Okay.
You see that?
Yeah.
Dude. Okay, so here's another one. I'm just going off a Logitech 1080p webcam mic. I don't have my full frame mirrorless going right now, but it's cool.
Looks all right, doesn't it?
It's two stories. It's 2 stories. So it's pretty much 2 lofts. I get the upstairs or downstairs. I don't think it really matters, but yeah, I'm stoked off this. So everybody who just donated, thank you to everything's paid in full, but I'm going to use all this as beer money in Europe. So much love. Going on a honeymoon? I'm going with a dude. I'm going with my college roommate. Anybody who watched the video of I tried to brew once since I've been out here, Martin, and I threw the batch away because it just felt wrong. Everything about it was just whack. And as us YouTubers, we could say this is the best beer or the worst beer or best beer ever. I just didn't want to do that. And I threw the batch of beer away, and the guy that helped me brew the beer with that, the guy that is in the video is the guy I'm going to Europe with. He's my college roommate from Sonoma State. Anyway. Yeah, right next to the Charles Bridge. Yeah. So it's the exact opposite of a honeymoon. It's a barrage fest. So here we go. We're chugging beers. CH is finally coming out of the closet IPA. CH going to hook up. I hit up Dr. Hans. The bummer about the trip is that if it was Sweden for 9 days, I'd hit up Dr. Hans. I mean, I would definitely put out content, at least on my end. But we're doing 3 cities in 9 days. So that's a lot of travel. You have to factor in trains. We're doing a train from Berlin to Prague. And then I need to fly 3 days later from Prague to Sweden. So if it was maybe 2 cities, definitely 1, I could be more situated, but there's 9 days, 3 cities is a lot of just on the move. Goose Frobby, what's up, Homebraj? How do you do a super chat? Link in bio. And this is Martin from the Homebrew Challenge. I would imagine if anybody who watches Homebrew for Life watches his channel as well. But if not, there's a link to his channel. And please subscribe to Martin's channel. Link in bio or link in description. Right next to Martin's merch. The description's where nobody looks at. All right, Martin, we're drinking
That's
beer.
it.
We're chugging beer right now. We're chugging beer
This is
right
these. Okay, so we're gonna break the rule here. The no chugging. It's not sponsor friendly.
No, you're in my world right now,
Yeah.
Martin. It is not sponsor
Okay.
friendly. All right, you ready to do it?
That's
Bottoms up. Here we go. What are you drinking over there?
this was my session IPA.
Session IPA. All right, I got a 12-ounce Budweiser. Let's light this crowd
I
can.
know what we have to do.
What do you want?
It's not that simple.
What?
Just say it. M.
Say it.
B.
Say when.
C.
All right, we're back. All right, Martin, would you do this again? Would you come back on?
I'd love to. This is great fun.
Yeah. I try to promote Tuesdays and Thursdays, but it's just a Wednesday thing, and it has to be on our time zone. It has to be 9 o'clock Eastern time. It's just starting early for people. People are still at work, because this is a happy hour. I want people to be drinking, and brewing to me was always kind of a blue collar man's thing, like construction, building stuff, doing stuff. Beer always kind of went hand in hand. It just doesn't work when it's, you started at noon or something like that. So,
Right.
hell yeah. Okay, so we will go to a couple questions. Talked about beer cities. We talked about this. We talked about that. Talked about this. Okay, Martin. Brand new brewers. Should you jump straight into all grain nowadays?
No. I don't know. I didn't.
Did you have the space though? Because on paper, my place is so small, I should be an extract brewer. But I always thought that extract brewers weren't taken seriously. Now I look back and I was like, that's stupid. Who cares what anybody thinks? Just make good beer.
Right. I mean, I brewed extract upstairs in the kitchen, and then I got kicked out of the kitchen because apparently it was making the whole house smell, and I ended up in the unfinished basement.
One
and then I was like, well,
spill ruins a lot of home brewing.
yeah, right. It's like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, this is supposed to be a nitro stout.
Nitro capsule?
Yeah, but I don't know. Oh, there we go. There's the Cascade.
I'm gonna give you the CH tour. We got 4 beers left too. I don't know if we're gonna get to all of them. Here we go.
So this is my non-local beer.
We're going IPA. IPA.
Nice. You've been doing a lot of IPAs. This is nitro milk stout.
Nitro milk stout. I thought about buying a stout today. I saw it, and stout's kind of, I don't know.
It smells good.
I can only drink stouts when, it's like 85 degrees right now in Tennessee. So the last thing you want to drink is a stout. Excuse me. My mama raised me better than that. No, she didn't. Josephied, I call this the one-day wash every time. Drink halfway through the week to celebrate almost done with work, or go through an annoying Monday or Tuesday. I'm with Josephied. Hey, we got Brian, Elementary Brew Co. in the house. Good to see Brian. Love to get Brian on. And I do want to do 2 streams a week before I go to Europe, because I'm definitely not going to brew before I go to Europe, because I just don't want to have just things fermenting and you're worried about maybe something exploding or going wrong. You kind of want to be home for that. Thank you, Christian Ramirez. Thank you for buying me a beer. Euro beer or keys are fun. So I'm going to do 2 streams, and I leave June 13th. Fuck, I got to pay rent. I'll pay rent.
That's soon. You're going soon.
Yeah. It was one of those things where I probably wouldn't have bought the ticket if I hadn't drank 6 torpedoes from Sierra Nevada. And you wake up and you're like, dude, do I regret that? No, let's just roll with it. I don't care if I got to put some shit on credit. My cost of living got cut in more than half moving from San Diego to California, moving from San Diego to Tennessee. So let's live good. Let's spend some money. So back to the question. Should you jump straight into all grain? You're saying whatever?
I mean,
There's no
I don't
wrong, there's
know.
no right?
I mean, getting into extract is super cheap, right? There's so little that you need. You probably already have everything.
For the extract. The extract's like $4.
Except for the ingredients.
Yeah.
Right? Right?
It's equipment versus recipe. Yeah.
Yeah. I started with Mr. Beer, like the most basic thing you could get, and I brewed it, and it tasted like apples.
That's not
I was
good.
like,
That
"Ooh."
sounds like a lot of
Yeah, and that's-
diacetyl.
That is a lot of diacetyl, and nobody had told me about this
beer
product called
sucks.
Starsan.
Oh, that part. Okay.
Yeah, so
Don't buy
I
this beer.
then ended up going to a beer like brewing class for an hour at a homebrew store, and then they gave me an extract kit. And I don't know, but now there's so many really good all-in-one systems for all grain.
Right.
Pretty place to start as well, I would say.
It's a lot cheaper now. It's definitely a lot
Yeah,
cheaper.
right.
I don't think anybody,
Easier too.
especially I don't think anybody on YouTube brews on a Herm system anymore. Nobody uses a 3-tier system.
No.
Everything's
Right.
condensed, concise. But remember, how long you been brewing? Were you around when everything was like you got to have 3 burners and 3 pumps, and the more money you spend? You remember that?
Yeah, I mean, I started with a Brew Easy system, which is only 2, which was considered revolutionary, that you've taken the 3 and combined it to 2. And that was a pain as well.
And I imagine it's pretty price tag.
Oh, yeah, that was expensive. And I bought the 10-gallon system, so it's absolutely huge. A 20-gallon kettle stacked on top of a 15-gallon kettle.
Right.
And then this tower of power thing that they called it, the controller, which was then
Right.
with a pump between the two. And then you had to get this spar jar, like exactly the right spot, otherwise it wouldn't. You had to have half the liquid on the top and half the liquid on the bottom. It was so difficult. And now it's so much easier with the all-in-one stuff.
Everybody needs to have everything welded back in the day, which is all dead weight. I brought that up in the last video. I'm sending this to somebody's back home. But
Yeah.
you can weld this. I don't know if anybody in here knows how to weld, but it's not free. It is very expensive to get someone to come out and do something. It is not cheap. And I want to say something. Here's a homebrew quick tip. Chris Z, much love. We got a super chat from him. Awesome to know you'll spend this wisely. Chris Z just bought me a pitcher of beer in Stockholm in 10 days. Much love, Braj. But a big power move in brewing, which I've learned, is that it's okay to have a leak unless it's a fermenter. If you have a little drop coming out of a mash tun or your all-in-one system or your kettle, that's fine. And in the beginning, when I started brewing, that would make me rip my house apart, like freak out, like there's a leak, this is bad. It's not a problem unless it's a fermenter, especially back in the day when we were fermenting for 2 weeks. Martin, you there?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So I want to we're back to 100 viewers, man. We're still here. We got G60 good. We got Elementary Brewco in the house. We're all still here, man. We're 2 hours in, Martin, and we still have 100 people in the chat. This has never happened before.
So you're saying, especially when we used to ferment for 2 weeks, how long do you ferment for now?
It's weird because I went through this phase where I was just trying to put out as much content as possible. So I wasn't trying to make the best beer. I was trying to make the fastest beer. So everything was Quake. So like 3-day stuff. And everything was kind of not clickbait, but instead of, you know how YouTube works. Instead of saying, hey, today we're going to make hazy IPA, put it in question format. Can you do it in 3 days? Like still it puts a lot of emphasis on quantity. 40 pounds of fruit, ? And that's great marketing. That's phenomenal marketing. So I put a lot of emphasis kind of on that, like how fast can you brew? And with Kvike, it's pretty easy. You know, the beer was good.
Yeah.
The beer was great.
Right.
And there was no off flavors. I'll tell you what, the beer I'm drinking right now, I'd be embarrassed if I brewed this. This is Crafty Bastard Hop Candy, right down the street. And this, I just hate when West Coast IPAs are just way too malty. Yeah, so my Kvike stuff was better than this. But yeah, about 3-day fermentation. What about you? How long do you ferment?
Typically, like when I was when I did the challenge, I had 2 fermenters, so I had to switch between the 2. So nothing could stay in there for longer than 10 days.
Okay.
And then it's on to the next one. And I kind of stuck with that. I mean, fermentation is normally done, no matter what the yeast is normally done within a week at the very most.
Right.
Then, cold crash and get it into a keg and condition from there. So you don't want it sitting in the fermenter too long.
What about your take on lagers? Do you lager? The word stems from aging, sitting. Do you put an emphasis on that, or are you trying to get content out?
Well,
or do you know something that we don't?
No, so I mean that the lager thing was kind of interesting because the way that the BJCP guidelines work is pretty much all of the first beers are lagers, and then once you get through that, like the first 20 beers, maybe 18 are lagers, and then there are no more lagers in the entire 99 beer list. So I was kind of working on the 6-week principle for each beer, so I had to start brewing a lager 6 weeks before I needed the video to come out, already 7 weeks before the video came out, because I did want to condition it for that long. So it would stay in the fermenter for 10 days because that's all I had. That's all the time I had, and then it would lager in the keg for the remainder of the 6 weeks, and then
That's
put out for serving.
That's the tricky part. You got to let it lager in the keg before you drink it all. That's the problem that I always have.
That's right. Put it in the keg, forget about it for a few weeks.
Yeah. How much? How thirsty are you? How much self-control and discipline do you have? And for me, I got no discipline. Discipline's for
right.
Yeah.
I mean, at one point I had 5 chest freezers in this unfinished basement.
I need one.
And they were
I just want one.
Well, you can find them I was finding them on Craigslist.
There's no such thing as Craigslist in Knoxville. Craigslist, it's all. I mean, there is, but those type of websites are only as good as the population. There's only about 150,000 people here, so it's nothing like San Diego. So I have to buy one.
Right.
I'll buy one tomorrow.
I mean, I would just surf Craigslist and I guess Facebook Marketplace now for. If there was a chest freezer for sale, I was probably putting in an offer. I had so many chest freezers in here because that's how I did fermentation control, and that's how I did the lagering as well.
What do you do for your lights? You've got very good lighting, and I'm so glad you showed me that the MTV.
Yeah, I just have soft boxes mounted on the ceiling.
Got it. I live in a town of 10,000. Where is that, Will? Warren Cox. Hey all from Australia. Started brewing last year with a Brew Art Beer Droid extracts and quickly moved to brew in a bag. And now all grain using a nano brew in a bag basket. Right on, Warren. Welcome to the club, man. It's not as expensive as everyone thinks. And it's awesome. It's awesome. Brewing your own beer. The best part of brewing your own beer is when you do go to a bar or a restaurant, you get that sour, you get that Pilsner, you get that West Coast IPA, and you have a sip, and you're like, you know what? I think mine is better than this.
Right.
That's the best feeling of all time. You guys sell this? This is like all over one region in circulation. What up, Tito? What up, T-Man? Just scored 2 Spital 30-liter fermenters on Craigslist. Liters are pretty much quarts.
Stuff like that.
Not in Knoxville. I'm trying to sell a Tacoma shell right now. I know it's going to take me a month. Lowe's 4.9 for under 200. Yeah, Patrick, that's what I want. What sizes are your chest freezers over there, Martin? 5.2 cubic volume?
So I have a couple like that. So I'm down to 2 chest freezers now. One is a freezer
for
hops and whatnot, and then one is for spare kegs. and it'll fit 3 kegs. So is that five? Is that 5 cubic feet? I don't know.
Yeah. You gotta. I think that when you do buy a chest freezer, here's what I do know. I think the diameter of a corny cake is 8.5 inches. That's a big factor when you're buying a
Yeah.
chest freezer, because I want to get the smallest one where I can still put in more than one, because they do sell those out there, Home Depot and such, that are 3 cubic feet, 3 cubic volume, and they only hold one. And that just doesn't work. Yeah.
It's a waste of time. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't need 20. I don't need 7. I just need 2 or 3. And then where the motor is on the chest freezer, that's where you put your CO2 tank if you were to put it in there. But you don't have to. CO2 doesn't have to be refrigerated.
Right.
Yeah.
When I was brewing in brew buckets, I used to get 2 brew buckets in one, but I think you needed the 7 cubic feet to get 2 brew buckets in.
Okay.
The thing with that though is
They're $500.
that you put the brew buckets in, and then you put the airlocks in, and then you shut the top, and then you'd open it again a week later to see how the beer's doing, and then just all of this CO2 comes out of the chest freezer.
Got it.
You don't want to be breathing that in.
No.
It's,
No. Warren Cox says, problem here in Australia is that much of the U.S. equipment is not available here or just super bloody expensive.
super bloody expensive.
Kegland is Australia, correct?
Yeah, Kegland. I mean, they have such good stuff.
There's some brands
Like-
out there.
Yeah.
It's got to be cheaper. He's got it right here.
Right.
What's your take on using
Kegland.
posts for gas in, gas out on plastic stuff? I've never done it. No problem?
Oh, yeah. No, these are great.
No leaks, nothing, never burned through a tank?
Nope. I have not had any leaks with these plastic posts. That's been good.
Duly noted.
Yeah, no, I really like the all of the Kegland stuff, really. I mean, it is all plastic. And I really like all the stainless steel stuff. That was kind of my reason for doing the YouTube channel. But
Yeah.
actually, I have brewed on the Firmzilla All-Rounder, I don't know, maybe like 20, 30 batches through that thing. I love it.
Yeah. I kind of stressed that in the last Homebrew for Life video because I'm just a bucket guy. I can't get away from a bucket unless it's I don't harvest yeast. Do you save yeast? Do you reuse yeast?
Nope.
I don't
If
use
I
that.
if I do it, I'll do it on a yeast starter, not on the yeast that's been in the beer.
Right. And that's a big selling point. You know, all the breweries or all the brands, they want to sell what the commercial guys do, the 20 barrel systems, but bring it down to us, make us feel like we're commercial brewers. But like you don't need that stuff. You don't realistically. I don't think I know any home brewer that consistently reuses yeast. I mean, like you said, making a yeast starter is way more popular.
I have something to show you for that. The thing I do with yeast.
Usually I'm wrong
is-
though. I'm always wrong.
Let's switch to this. I have a frozen yeast bank. Have you ever frozen the yeast?
No.
So, I'll take a packet of yeast. I'll build
That looks like some
overbuild a
Jurassic Park
starter.
shit. Okay.
Like this one is Yeast 2112 California Lager. So I'll overbuild the starter, and then I'll take a sample of this, mix it with glycerin,
Okay.
and then freeze it.
Okay.
And then you can just build this back up with another starter at a later point, and then reuse the yeast. So you buy one packet, and then you get 6 out of that. And then when you get down to your last one, you can just make generation 2 and build the next one. So I have a collection of lager yeasts in this bag, and then I have another one full of ale yeasts as well. So I can always reuse yeast without having to buy it.
Sorry, I'm back. Sorry, I had to blow my nose. But I was listening to you the whole time. I just killed my.
A lot more
I thought if
Stay.
you. Damn, dude.
lager yeast collection. The ale yeast collection. I really got into this, especially like some of the rare ones. Yeah. So you just take these, put them back in a starter, and
Jurassic
you've got
Park.
your yeast again.
Okay.
Really? Right. Jurassic Park yeast. yeah.
Jurassic Park yeast. Jurassic Park yeast IPA. Jurassic Park yeast IPA. That's funny, man.
Yeah, I mean, yeast is the most expensive part. So if you can just reuse it, why not?
That, yeah. As on a commercial scale, you have to reuse yeast, and that's kind of the ongoing. I want to get Maury on here. I don't know how much you watch Homebrew for Life. Do you even watch Homebrew for Life?
I do watch Homebrew for Life.
Okay. Do you remember Maury? He kind of looks like the bad guy from
Yes,
Mickey
yeah.
Mouse. Yeah, kind of looks like Pete from Goofy movie. Yeah, he's one of the raddest guys I've ever met. We've got a good yin and yang. I'm kind of the shithead. He's kind of the silent Bob. And I want to know how much, because commercial yeast, they have to reuse the same yeast, because when you buy an initial pitch, it's about $250 to $500. And I would love if Jorge Castro was in here. He's got a brewery down there on the west coast of Puerto Rico. So the name of the game is how much can you realistically reuse the same yeast? And it kind of goes hand in hand with people that clone marijuana strains, use the same one over and over and over. And Maurice told me the most he's ever used it, the maximum times, was 15, which is crazy because back when I got into brewing, they were like, don't reuse the same yeast more than 3 or 5. So I was thinking, like, how much can you really reuse the same yeast? You could probably triple 15. I don't know. But it's just a thing that I've never done as a home brewer. I've never...
Well, right. So that's the thing about freezing it. What I used to do is I would build a yeast starter, seal a bit and put it in a mason jar.
Yeah.
And then when it was time to brew with it, I would rebuild the starter, steal another bit, and then I could use that again and again. But each time you're going a generation down, right? So it's generation 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Right.
And each time the yeast is changing a little bit.
Sure.
And the nice thing
And
about freezing
getting
it is you
older?
take... Yeah. And it's getting older. The nice thing about freezing it is you
Isn't good?
take 5, 6 vials, whatever, out of the starter, use it in your beer. But those are all generation 1. They're not generation 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
I'm writing
So
this down. It
hasn't mutated as much. So yeah, I mean, I think you could probably go through a few mutations and it still be sort of reasonably close to the original. So potentially one bag of yeast could like generate 20 vials or something like that.
I'm going to get weird and go one step further. Because does that work with anything? I have friends who are trying to get pregnant right now. Like if you were to use your semen at 16 and freeze it, is it still generation 1? I'm serious.
Well,
oh, my
do not
dad's
know.
here. No way. Gorgeous George is here, man. Do you know Gorgeous George? Hey, what's up, Gorgeous George? It's been a while, man. I feel like you died and came back. Hope all's well. He's out there, I think, in Utah. He's got a killer homebrew setup. But no, Martin, I'm serious about that. If you kept, because that's what everything is about now, is like preserving eggs and cells. Could you do that with semen?
Does it mix with glycerin? I don't know.
We'll go back to beer. I think CH just caught Kyle's sickness. Kyle has COVID right now, and I wish him well, man. So we get some positive.
Oh, does he? Oh, that sucks.
They all have it. Yeah, I know. Everyone's
they were
vaxxed
traveling
like
somewhere
4
this week.
times. Okay, we're done with
man.
COVID. Yeah, sorry. I always break my own rules. Another question for you. Did you ever do beer competitions?
I have never submitted a beer to a competition ever. So, no.
Same with me. Do you think it matters?
From what I've heard, like you get these snooty judges that will like say you've got DMS in your beer or something,
And they're all
just,
fucked
like,
up and been
didn't
drinking
need
all
that.
day. Yeah.
Right. I guess it would be cool. It would be cool to get some sort of expert opinion on a brew, and maybe it would be useful feedback. But I have never done it. No.
Yeah. And on the other side of that, as a viewer, I don't care. I mean, it might strike a little bit, if you're looking at if you go to a beer place and they've got 20 IPAs on and you see one that's got a ribbon or a medal, that might stand out a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
But with beer, it's weird because you're like, oh, this is the best beer of all time. It's JBF Gold ribbon, #1, first place. And immediately, you know what you think in the back of your head? Oh, really? You know, like, is it going to give me an orgasm? Is it going to get me to work on time? It's like, no. It's just, if it tastes like how it's described, it's a good beer, in my opinion. I don't do,
Right.
do you do, did you ever do, what's the thing called where everyone Untapped?
Oh yeah, Untapped.
Do you do
I'm on that all
Untapped? Do you
the
rate
time.
beers?
Oh my goodness. So
Oh,
yeah,
the enemy.
heck yes.
Okay. You do. Okay. No,
Is
not.
this not cool?
I just think that it denies people business. And I worked at breweries and they shit on our beer, so I saw it from the other side.
I mean,
I don't. You're asking me what's cool. I have no idea what's cool or not cool.
I have 1,982 unique beers checked in on Untapped. So, oh, it's kind of fun just to
All right.
every time try a different beer or check it in and see what your friends think of it and stuff.
So what do you go off? I mean, well, here's why I don't like Untapped, because people come into places I've worked at and they could have the best beer of all time, Martin. But if you tell them like, hey, you're too drunk, I have to cut you off, or if I have to put your dog on a leash because they let their dogs run around and touch everything, they'll give you a bad review on
right.
Untapped. And you're like,
Right.
that's bullshit. That's ridiculous. You know, so what is Untapped? It's a scale of 0 to 5.0. 5.0 would be an A+.
With 0.25 increments, yeah.
With 0.25 increments. Okay, so
Right.
there's just a lot of people on Untapped, even outside of Untapped, Yelp or Google, they're like, hey, everything was perfect about the beer, but there was no vegan option, 4 out of 5 stars. And you're like, that's not a reliable source. That's not a reliable source. Them not having a vegan food truck shouldn't be a reflection on the
Of
head
your beer,
brewer.
right?
Yeah. So
Right.
that's where it's kind of skewed. But at the end of the day, everything's kind of skewed. You know, every
I mean-
metric is kind of
Yes.
jaded.
How I like it, I don't really, when I look at a beer, I don't like go on Untapped and look to see what the rating is for a beer before I order it at all. But when I've ordered a beer, I will type it into Untapped and see what some of my friends have said about it.
Oh, so it's like
Especially
a
with people
social
that have
network.
similar tastes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
a social network. So I have some friends on Untapped, and they'll say what they like about the beers and what they don't like, and then I'll be like, yeah, that's kind of influencing my decision a bit.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm not going to use it and say I am not going to order your sessionable IPA because it's only a 3.75 on Untapped.
Fair enough.
That would be ridiculous.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
And it gives you badges, which is
People get badges in here. I love badges. I subscribe to
Hey,
people's
there
YouTube
we go.
channels and Twitch's channels, and I love that shit. I love unlocking new stuff. I love that back in
right.
the Halo days.
It works. It
Yeah,
works.
getting a new T-shirt or something like that. So what are we on? Are we on 5 or 6? We got 2 beers left. Are you doing okay on time over there, Martin?
I think I'm on 6. What are you on?
Oh shit! Are we counting the NBC?
Well, that was also one of my beers.
Okay. Can we do 2 more beers, Martin?
All right.
Martin is the barrage. Okay, so I'm going to do an Elst Lime Hard Seltzer. And I'll tell you what about hard seltzers. Citrus works the best. When people start doing vanilla fudge and all this weird stuff, I don't...
Yeah.
Yeah, citrus works the best. Citrus just works the best with beer unless you're doing this weird vodka thing. And this one is a lime hard seltzer right here, Elst, which I have not been to. Elst, 5%, made with mineral water, bold lime flavoring. That means extract.
Where is Elst? Is that local?
It's got to be. The place
Never
that I
heard
went
of
today
that
to buy this 6-pack at, everything in there was farm to table. I was the only guy in there with a beard and not wearing a mask. I'll leave it at that. Brewed and canned by Elst Brewing, Knoxville, Tennessee. This is a place that people really want to let you know where they shop at. So, all right, here we go. Brewing Brad, this is an Ooh, Clawhammer in the house. We got Kyle on here. Can we get Kyle? Are you here? Kyle's here. This is Martine.
Well, hello.
Yeah, we got Clawhammer in the house, man.
We've been talking about you the whole live stream, to be fair.
So much shit, man. We were talking so much shit about you guys. It was out of control. This is an excellent happy hour. Cheers, Brewing Brad. Much love. Kyle, man, hope you're feeling better. We were just talking about you, how you got COVID, and people were sending you some chill vibes. Untapped reviews can be really petty. Sunset Hound. T-Man, I'm hunting for a grain basket that can hold 30 pounds. Good question. I'm hunting for a grain basket that can hold 30 pounds. That's a big grain basket. I mean, you're looking at like a 30-gallon
I may have
system.
one of those.
30 pounds?
I don't know about 30. Close to it.
The Clawhammer one was the biggest that I had. Kyle, I'm going to put you on speaker. I'm going to call Kyle right now. Maury, what's wrong with your headset? Shut up, Maury.
Does this hold 30 pounds?
That's the Clawhammer one.
Yeah. It's with a 20-gallon system. I don't know how much you could get in there.
Well, you got to figure whatever size batch of brewing you're doing, you got to double that with grain. We're going to call Kyle right now. But it wouldn't work. I mean, that grain basket would work, but if you put 30 pounds in there, if you even have a gallon of liquid, Martin, it would all overflow.
Yeah, and how would you lift it out?
How would you lift it out? You'd have to have a pulley system. We're calling Kyle right now. We're going to crank anchors him. Kyle, it's Lawson.
Homie.
What is going on, man? You were live on the internet.
How you doing?
Okay, this is my... We're doing a three-way right now.
I know. It's hilarious because I just
So to
logged
speak.
on to watch the live stream.
Yeah. Martin, can you hear Kyle? Can you hear him through my phone?
I can, yeah.
All right, Kyle's here. He's
No.
We're hanging out, man. We're drinking the six-pack.
Dude, I'll just answer this one question. Yes, our 20-gallon grain basket will hold 30 pounds.
He is listening.
Grain. Yeah.
There you
No,
go.
yeah,
We're all
I just got back
fired.
to my place. Yeah.
How's it going, man? We were talking about you earlier. I did bring up that you guys caught the C word, cauliflower. Everyone,
Yeah, man.
you okay?
It went down finally. Yeah, everybody's good. Everybody's good.
Good. Did you have
Yeah.
the achy bones and the fatigue?
You know, all that good stuff, yeah.
I've been there.
Out in Colorado right now, actually, just packed up the entire warehouse out here and am moving it. It's literally like our entire warehouse is on like 2 semi-trucks and 1 20-foot container on its
Sick.
way to Tennessee from Colorado. So it's been madness, dude, madness. But
Right on, man.
I just logged on. I just opened up YouTube and I was like, "Oh shit, it's Martin and CH. I'm definitely
Yeah.
gonna watch this."
No, we were cracking up. We had a Clawhammer story earlier where we didn't even know what was going on, and then the video came out, and we're like, "Damn, dude, Lawson made us look way cooler than we are in real life." That's
Right.
That's why I hired him, man.
Yeah.
Make me look cool, dude. That's
Yeah.
your only job.
Yeah, hell yeah. Well, hey, do your thing, man. I'd love to get you guys both on at the same time. Usually it's one-on-one, but we've done like 4 or
Yeah.
5 people on before.
Yeah.
T-Man says
Anyway.
Clawhammer is my new hero.
Yeah. Hey, while I have you on here, what's up, Martin? Good to see you on the live stream here. And yeah, I'll let you guys get back to it and not just be a spectator.
All right, brother. We'll talk soon.
All right.
Have a good night, Kyle. Later, bro.
Let's go.
That was cool.
Yeah.
That was cool. I finally know what it feels like to be. That's the first time I think that's ever happened. A call-in.
You have call-ins onto
A call
the show.
out. A
That's,
call out. No, I call them.
Yeah.
No, I have to.
A call out, yeah.
Yeah. All right, so here we go. We're doing the Eltzer. Ooh, they went the extra mile. They're calling it, instead of seltzer, they're calling it the Eltzer. And 5%. All right, here we go. You're on 6 or you're on 5, Martin?
I'm on 5, but let me do 6. I have
Okay.
a porter to finish off. So,
I mean, we're
switch to-
breaking all records tonight, man. We've got killer viewership. We got 76 people in here over 2 hours later on a channel that's got maybe 2,000 subscribers. 3.56K. Just looked at that. Oh, here we go.
just, roughly, Yeah.
Yes.
So this one is from Raleigh Brewing Company.
Okay.
Again, that's the brewery that is attached to Atlantic Brew Supply.
Nice.
So when you go into Atlantic Brew Supply, the homebrew store that I go to, they have a brewery right next door.
All right, let's see it. What up, Kevin Dottage? Martin, do you mind holding the chat down a little bit? I got to use the restroom.
All right.
Have you broke the seal yet? Are you still...
Approved sale, no.
You haven't broken the seal
Nope.
yet? All right, drain the main vein.
Hold it out.
Hold it down, Braj. BRB. Ugh. Ugh.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I've been kind of wondering about the towel thing as well. Should I be using a towel to wipe down the beers? That seems quite professional. Okay, yeah, Warren's saying, ask him why the towel. I will ask indeed. Curious, I feel like that's like quite, the barman kind of set up. Very
All right,
nice.
I'm back from the dead. That beer looks gorgeous, Martin.
Okay, we have a question.
All right.
We have a question.
What do we got?
Why the towel? Why the towel? You pull out your beers and you towel them down?
Yeah, because I got a cooler right
you a-
here.
So were you like a former bartender or something? You
Oh,
seemed
my
like-
whole life. Yeah, my whole life. I've always
Yeah?
Because in America, it's 20% tips. It's America is the best country to work in guest services. Uruguay, it's 10%. Some countries in Europe will be offended if you tip them. So
Oh yeah, right. That's right.
yeah, I had a buddy who almost got his ass kicked in Ireland for tipping on a Guinness. And the guy said, "What do you think? I'm homeless? Why would you give me free money? Get the fuck out of here." Yeah, so in America, it's just a little bit different. So I knew when we all started getting cars when we were 16, you got to have a job, pretty much to have a car. At least that's how it used to be. And if you were a busboy or a delivery guy, you could sometimes make double or triple the minimum wage. So just wait tables, serve beer. That's not why I'm wearing this right now. I'm just wearing this or rocking this right now is because this is kind of like an isolated room. I've got the computer right here, but there's no real place to set this towel down. And if you looked at my computer right now, I'll check it out, Martin. Let me go to
Behind the scenes. Have we seen behind the scenes here?
Yeah, there's not much to look at, but there is a lot going on. So I've got a $100 keyboard, or I'm sorry, $100 desk from Walmart. So I've got that. The stream is going right here.
Oh, there's the Playmate.
There's the Stream Deck, and then here's my H6 behind there. And then here's my microphone, which is one of these things. You know that thing right there?
Hmm.
And
Oh,
then,
your Zoom mic, yeah.
And then I've got a mat going over here where I can actually watch it. This is the quality control station. Here's the hard seltzer I'm drinking. And then I've got the Playmate cooler down there. And then other than that, there's nothing going on in this room. There's literally nothing. It's just where I shoot my shitty intros. I'm trying to move
Yeah,
around.
that's great. And you've got the green screen back there.
Oh, yeah.
I see a comment. I see the comment about the milk chocolate peanut butter porter. That's the recipe I came up with for my wife's birthday. And
Motion sickness
Ringbad
IPA.
saying, I use that as a base for my Reese's Porter. Reese's Porter. That sounds fantastic.
God, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Write it down. I love making beer with cereal. I've only done it a couple times, but one of the best beers I've ever had was a Reese Puffs brown or porter. It was so good. And Reese is such a weird thing because everyone's favorite candy is Reese's Pieces. And everyone that tries to do knockoffs like Nutter Butter, all this Little Debbie stuff, it's kind of there, but you know it's not the same. Every little kid knows the knockoff Reese's Pieces versus the real deal. Reese has the best ingredient of all time. It's just, what, peanut butter and chocolate? It's like, well, yeah, but they've got a killer ingredient in there. What's with the zebra background? Oh, so here, I'll show you right now. So this is, here, let me take this off for a second. So, as Martin knows, it's not about video. I mean, it is about video, but the number one thing in production that is the ultimate ear sore is audio. So this is a wide open room. So I bought a closet, what do you call an armoire, for $20, and I put a blanket over it, and it kills the echoes. Because if I don't have that up
just a
there,
sound blanket.
it's just to have shit not bouncing off the walls. There is on the other side of this door is my washer and dryer stackable in this weird makeshift closet. And I do want to do my audio and my voiceover in there, but it's just too small. It's just way too small. So, okay, Kyle's still here. Zebra print is for CH's OnlyFans page, 100%. We still got Kyle in the house, man. Warren, CH has the best video on YouTube on how to make a hard seltzer. I got a funny story about that video. Well, my first video was bullshit. My second video, we figured out. It took me 5 times to figure out the hard seltzer. My son is a sound and video engineer. Hey, what's up, Jason? Jason Saniak. Yeah, seen the CH video on hard seltzer. When we first did that, the hard seltzer video, we thought it was going to be like too good to be true. And it came out looking like weird sake, kind of egg yolky, white, thick green.
So tell me, what did you do to make that? Did you just, I mean, when I did mine, I just put sugar in and added some like champagne yeast or something.
The key to hard seltzers, to make a really good hard seltzers, don't mess with, you have to use distilled water. You have to use distilled water.
Yes.
Because anything that comes from wherever will add a cloudiness to it. I've done this 5 times. So start with
cloudiness. I had cloudiness.
You did have cloudiness?
Yes, and I did not use distilled water.
Distilled water is a big advantage that homebrewers have because commercial breweries can't use this because it's just, they can't buy millions of gallons of distilled water. It'd be way too expensive. But as on a homebrew scale, you need 7 gallons. It's $10. You're fine. So it's also a good video to kind of learn about beer salts. If you're starting from a blank slate, distilled water is the best course of action. And it's like, play around with distilled water. Drink it. It's weird. It's not tap water. It's not Dole. And then you try Aquafina and you're like, whoa, man, this tastes like Blockbuster from the 90s. This tastes like delicious water. Something's going on. And they do put chemicals in that to make it delicious. Or Dasani, which is owned by Coca-Cola. But the key to hard seltzers is you want to use distilled water. There's 3 things to hard seltzer. The second one is overpitch everything when it comes to yeast nutrient. Because the thing about grain, it's got all the amino acids and the vitamins in there, vitamin B specifically. You don't really need to use yeast nutrient when you're making beer because there's so much good shit in the grain.
Right.
When you're toying with things and you're tweaking things, you're kind of forcing a lot of things. So when people would use calcium chloride or use Epsom salt or something like that, you would use, for a 5-gallon batch, you would use grams. The key to hard seltzer. Oh, we got Jorge Castro and Trev Hu in here. The key to hard seltzer, and I didn't know about this until proper seltzer came out. They were throwing in 1 ounce of yeast nutrient. And that was kind of it, because my first batch of hard seltzer, maybe my second or third, Martin, I would go pitch yeast, do all the stuff, throw yeast nutrient. I'd go back. The airlock would go good for 6 hours, and then the next morning it would die. And I'd throw more yeast nutrient in there, and then I'd go back and it would go for a little bit, and then it would die out. And I was like, okay, it needs a lot of stuff that grain doesn't have. So long story short is you want to use at least 1 ounce of yeast nutrient. And what yeast nutrient, when it comes down to, is it's ultimately nitrogen. It's the same stuff that they use in plants. Diammonium phosphate, yeast energize, it's all nitrogen when you kind of break it down. So you go from grams, 5 grams, which is how many grams are in an ounce? 28? Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. So you pretty much increase the dosage by 5 times, 500%.
Yeah, that's a lot more.
That's a lot more. That's a lot more. And the good thing, though, is that it's cheap. Nitrogen is cheap. And a lot of the stuff that brewers, what makes good brewing is it's kind of stolen, not maybe stolen, but used by green thumbers. So if you want to grow tomatoes or marijuana in your house, there's all these numbers of this, like there's 3, 16, 24, 5, and it's talking about nitrogen and this and that. That plays the same part as for homebrewing and yeast health and stuff like that. So Proper Seltzer got so big of a brand, they would actually put that in can form. Have you seen that, Martin? Like you actually crack a can and pour it in your hard seltzer. It's all yeast nutrient.
I mean, that makes sense, right? Because other than that, what's in there? It's just water, right?
And sugar. And who even knows?
Yeah, water, sugar, and yeast.
And who even knows where American sugar comes from? The CH stuff, azúcar, this and that. You know it's all been tampered with. It's not how it is in the Mexican colas from the 90s. Everything's kind of weird now. Everyone's cutting corners, and is it really that? Is it really that? So distilled water, 1 ounce of yeast nutrient, and the biggest one was Lutra liquid yeast, Omega Lutra.
You used Kvike yeast.
Yeah, I did. And I had the best hard seltzer I've ever had. And I go to my buddies' breweries, and they do hard seltzers. This shit tastes like juice. They put hard seltzer on it because it sells. It's not a hard seltzer. I know that they just did a big batch and they have to kind of, make money off it and stuff. But no, I've had aside from Culture Brewing in Solana Beach, I've made the best hard seltzer outside of the Trulies and the White Claws. And hard seltzer is a weird one because when you try a hard seltzer, it's not like, hey, this is the best thing ever. When you actually go to a brewery and you want to drink a hard seltzer, it's not supposed to blow your mind. It's just supposed to taste like Truly and White Claw. That's what determines a hard seltzer.
Right.
So it's kind of a weird sale. When you try craft beer, like this is brand new, this is a West Coast IPA. When you go try the best hard seltzer in town, you're just comparing it to the stuff they sell at 7-Eleven that's 1/3 of the price. So it's a weird thing. It's a weird thing. But with that, here we go.
So, am I doing this right?
What do we got?
Over the right shoulder.
Oh.
Am I doing this right, CH style?
You got to put it on your wrist. And this is a good hard seltzer. I taste the sulfur though. And that's a big one too.
Okay.
Oh, baby turtle farts galore, bro. Baby turtle farts galore. Oh man, I feel like everybody could smell this right now. It's bad. It's bad. Corn subdides. Trefu, you told me my hard seltzer homebrew was the best. I don't remember that, but I'm going to call Trevor now. What happened to my phone? Do you know You don't know Trevor. He was in some of the videos too. He kind of looks like a bigger Paul Bunyan, Australian voice. We're going to call him now next. Trevor's coming in hot. We're starting this new thing on the Hoppy Hour. Instead of call-ins, it's called call-outs.
All outs. I like it.
I would call Maury, but Maury doesn't answer the phone. Maury's never talked on the phone. Trevor, answer your phone, dude. What's up?
I'm kind of watching this show right now called Homebrew for Life Happy Hour.
Is that good or bad?
Oh, it depends, man. Watching.
Hey, how come Maury doesn't talk on the phone?
Because no one talks on the phone when you're on stream, dude.
Not even on the stream, though. Have you ever talked to Maury on the phone?
No,
Not even that one time?
not even that one time in band camp.
Hey, this is Martin out there in North Carolina.
Hey, how's it going?
How's it going?
This is Trevor. He's one of my good brajas.
What's going on?
Australian, did you say?
He's a pommy,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
He's a pommy, right?
He's a communist. Yes.
Yeah,
Pommy.
Pommy. That's right. The Whinging Pommy.
All right, guys, I gotta go. I gotta watch this show.
All right, I'm going to call you back in like 5 more seconds.
All right, bye.
Let it brush. No, he's a good dude, man. He's a great guy. He opened up a brewery and he's killing it. And I'm very proud of him. He opened up a brewery at a weird
Oh,
time.
wow.
Yeah. You're trying to tell me
good job.
all of your homebrew, all of beers tasting good, great YouTube channel. You do not want to open up a brewery?
No.
No.
Like,
hard no.
that sounds like a lot of work.
Never,
right? Just like
never.
brewing for fun and like giving it to the neighbors and friends and stuff like that. That's one thing, but
Yeah.
like, no.
Never. I respect it. All right,
Nope.
man.
No, definitely not. No, I will happily drink other people's commercial brews, but I'm not going to make any of my own. I mean, I know. Have you had Sarah Flora on your show?
She did
I know
my...
she's doing some commercial stuff.
Yeah. Is she still doing YouTube?
Yeah, yeah. She's I think, is it in Chicago? She's set up She was like brewing a commercial beer out there.
She did. So I did a podcast, which was audio only on Spotify. And it's been a long time. But I had some really cool guests on that. And she did that. But I've never talked to her outside of that.
I think she wants to start her own brewery. So I know there's a few people, brew tubers that want to actually be brewers.
Well,
Good luck to 'em.
I would think that would be the number one reason for starting a YouTube video. And when I talked to Genus Brewing, do you know who Genus is?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they said the majority of their foot traffic or their all-around traffic just comes from their YouTube channel. And it works for me. It makes me want to go there. And Peter's a good dude.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I just, if I make it that far to the West Coast, I got to go to San Diego first. I got to play golf with my dad and hang out. But Peter's a good dude, and we kind of all started this together. Not together, but we coincidentally kind of started putting out content at the same time. And at the time, he had Logan, which is no longer on his channel. But nonetheless, I would love to visit Peter. I would love to go to Spokane. Spokane. Mm-hmm. What's your take on if you were to recommend beer cities?
I agree with Lars. Lars, by the way.
What happened to Lars?
Best way to ruin a hobby is to make it your job.
That's what Chip says from Chop and Brew.
Yeah.
Yeah. The best way to ruin a hobby is to make it your job. That's
When it
kind of how
becomes work, it stops
Yeah.
being fun, right?
And that is kind of how I got Maury, because he was making mead, he was making beer, and then when he came over and we were making beer, he was like, "Whoa, this is how I kind of fell in love with beer. Like I get it all over again. We're just drinking, hanging out, smoking cigarettes. People are coming in and out, and he just loved it. He loved being a part of it, and there's never ever really been money. Do you make a lot of money? Does Homebrew Challenge make a lot of money?
I would make more money working at McDonald's
I know.
than
I know.
running a YouTube
No,
channel.
I know. It comes down to like 20 cents a day. I know.
Right.
I know. And doesn't Chip work for Northern? Chip does work for Northern.
Right. Yeah.
He at least does. I got to get rid of it. I can't look at this cow thing. He at least does their video production.
Oh, the zebras are gone.
The towel's coming back. I'll be in Spokane in about a month. Gonna be hot. Yeah, I'm down. I'm super into that. Martin, realistically, how flexible are you to travel?
Like, to travel for what?
Vacation by yourself.
Oh, I don't go anywhere by myself. Do you know, I had the thought that when I got done with the 99 beers in 99 weeks,
Yeah.
do you know what I thought the next cool thing would be? Everyone was coming up with suggestions what you should do next. Because I've just been doing like random stuff. Hear me out.
I'm here.
50 beers brewed in 50 states with 50 different homebrewers.
That is awesome, but the thing about that is traveling is expensive.
Yes. So like, I was like, okay, this is my idea. 50 brews in 50 states. Now I need to find a sponsor. You know, like American Airlines.
Do you have that power?
No, that's why I have not done it. I feel like that would be fun, but yeah.
Well, if you come to Knoxville, if you want to start in Knoxville,
There you go. That's one state. One state. Yeah.
Well, and you don't need American Airlines. You can just drive over here, or we can meet halfway in Asheville. But
that's right.
That's a good idea. It's just traveling is expensive. It's just expensive.
Yeah, like it's like, oh, maybe I could get like some RV and I put my claw hammer system on the back of the RV and then like drive around the whole country.
I'm going to do that. I think I'm pretty sure that I'm not gonna ever get married or have kids, which I'm totally cool with. A lot of people like that's the big question mark in their life. I'm cool either way. I think I'd be a rad dad or a rad husband. If not, I'm just gonna make YouTube videos and do what I'm still doing. But there's no reason for me not to do that. And
Yeah.
Martin, I can't stress leaving California. California's. I wouldn't go as far as saying it's a scam. Like if you can afford to live there, you can afford to live there. But everything is expensive. The car registration, the parking tickets,
Right.
everything is ridiculous. And when you leave there, you're like, whoa. Okay, so I feel like I've been here for 2 years. It's only been 2 months, but I do have a 1-year lease. And the day the lease comes up, I'm going to buy a house out here because it's nothing to buy a house out here. And I'm thinking about, why don't I just get a V6 Tacoma and a 10 or 12 foot camper that I could schlep all around, and let's just travel. And you don't have to travel the world.
Well,
You don't have to go to Brazil. We could go to Athens. Like you could go to Athens. You could go to Florida. America is so beautiful, and America is kind of untouched. Everyone thinks they think we know what like Colorado is. It's like you don't. Like every city has the good and bad places. Every state has good and bad places. Like just go to this. Right. You drove through it one time. You're like, oh, I hate Arizona. I hate New Mexico. It's like, yeah, but there's nothing off the 40 freeway or the 10 freeway that's worth pulling over for in New Mexico or Arizona. But if you go a little bit north, you'll see some shit that would be on a Windows 97 screensaver, you know? Like every place is good and bad. So I kind of think about that.
I drove I drove from here to Denver, and
On
the
the
crazy
40?
thing about that is you get on the I-40 and then you just stay on it for 3 days. and then I came back through Kansas and saw a whole bunch of places. So no, it was really cool. And yeah, I mean, I know that you would sleep well. You seem to sleep pretty well in Carl's van there. So get plenty of rest on the way.
Yeah, just eat 5 gummies of melatonin and you're cooking with grease. But no, I don't know. The way I see it is, I think there's no better perspective on the world and seeing how people are than just traveling.
Yeah, right.
So, okay, here's my number 6. We got the Bohemian Pilsner. This is a big one. This is Bell's. And this looks like maybe your home turf. Does that look like?
Oh, Bo Pills.
You know this one? Bo Pills in the house. Bo Pills in the house. Okay, we've got Lager of the Lakes.
Good style, though. Yeah.
All right. Here we go. All right, we're 2 hours, 40 minutes in. We still got 70 people here. We're still hanging out. All right. This is our last beer.
Yeah, this is my last. Okay, I saw a couple of questions in the chat. So somebody was asking, in New Zealand, you're limited to 100 gallons of beer per person a year, or in a home up to 200 gallons max. I believe that is the same in the US. And I did have to look into this because I brewed 52 beers in a year. But I was brewing 3-gallon batches. So I only brewed 150 something gallons of beer and I was legal.
I'm going to use the restroom really fast. Martin, can you hold it down?
I can.
All right, be right back.
The 200 gallons max, that was a concern. Especially because I was posting on the internet live. So I was a little bit concerned about people spotting that one. But I did stay within the limits. 50 beers in 50 states. So my idea with this was like 50 beers in 50 states brewed with 50 different home brewers, and to bring my system and also have somebody bring their system, and then just sort of compare all the different ways that people brew beer, because I'm very familiar with my all-in-one system, and I would love to know, when I've brewed with other people, they have something custom, or they have a completely different manufacturer's all-in-one, or they're not doing all-in-one, they're doing 3 vessel or something like that. So that was the idea. I don't know if that would ever happen, but that would be fun. Drinking Yinling tonight. So I was listening to a Brewlosophy podcast recently where they were talking about International Amber Lager, and they were talking about how Yinling was a style of that and how it was so difficult to get on the West Coast, which is so funny because I live on the East Coast and it's just everywhere, and you wouldn't think twice about having a Yinling. But Yinling that's a good beer. It's very macro, but yeah, good choice, Eric. Somebody saying, dude, I'm way over 6 beers. I came in late. I am at 6. And I think CH is technically at 7 because of the one he downed. Warren's saying no limit in New Zealand or Australia for amount you can brew. That's very cool. Most of my family, I'm English, but most of my family lives in Australia, around Sydney and just a little bit south of Sydney in the area called the Southern Highlands. And what's been interesting about going to Australia is how when we first went, it was all very much like, macro beers, VB, Coopers, that kind of thing. And now there's like craft breweries in all these little towns like Mittagong and Barrel and stuff like in the Southern Highlands all have high, these little small craft breweries. So it's been very cool to see the beer scene change in Australia. When we're going to see you down here again, then, mate? I'd love to come back to Australia. Maybe go next year, hopefully. Oh yeah, the sous vide instead of a controller and a gas burner to finish the boil. That's a cool setup. And I think, I was saying earlier, I would really like to have a setup where I could brew smaller batches, 1 gallon batches. So that's like that would work very well with that. Yeah, and Southern Highlands, yeah, really, really pretty out there. Yeah, my parents live out in Barrel, and I think there's a brewery there, a brewery in Mittagong, and maybe 1 or 2 others. And the thing about Australian breweries that I found was like it's kind of a combination of the craft breweries of America, but also like the English beer garden kind of thing where uh, you've got that nice sort of outdoor area. So I really like the culture of all that. Oh yes, home to Don Bradman. Yeah, you have to go to the Don Bradman Cricket Oval, right? And he's on the citizenship test for Australia, I believe. Welcome back, Mr. CH.
I'm here.
Talking about Australia. Crikey.
I'm afraid of Australia. Everything I hear is every insect can kill you, and I can deal with insects.
Yeah.
Do you get bad insects in
Yeah.
North Carolina?
No, nothing can really kill you here, but in Australia, the spiders, the box jellyfish, everything is out to get you.
Yeah, the tunnel spiders or funnel spiders. So I've heard.
Yeah, it's terrifying.
I just went outside to get some fresh air, and after I took a leak, and there's a million insects out there, and I'm not fazed by them, but some people don't like insects.
Yeah, there's a lot of in the south. There's a lot of that stuff.
You get that though. You get a lot of flies around.
Well,
every
so
light bulb.
you've been here long enough for the pollinating, right? Where all the pine trees are like budding out the pollen. That normally happens like April. Were you here then?
No, not
Okay,
yet.
it's disgusting. The entire everything is just covered in this like yellow greeny pollen. Your car is like in parking lots. It's like blowing up through the air. Everything that you wear is like covered in pine pollen. Is so nasty.
I've never heard of
So
it.
I guess that's your treat for next spring then.
Okay. Yeah, I'll definitely be here. My game plan is I think I'm going to be here for about 3 to 5 years. So I'll catch all of that, but I haven't caught that yet. Like I said, I came out here, well, I guess March, so I would have been here for that. But my thing out here is there's a million birds. I've seen blue jays and cardinals everywhere. And my neighbor on the other side of the street, he's got bamboo up there, and there's birds up there that are so loud. I think I'm in a movie. I think it's like Congo. Like sometimes the trees shake, and you look at it, and it's just a million birds that come out of there. CH never goes outside. Video editing only. No, and fortunately, I don't care about these millions of. I just went outside. I probably saw a million different species of insect. I think I just saw a baby praying mantis. And a lot of people are weirded out by that. There's too many insects. If it touches my neck, I don't care. The only thing I'm really afraid of is snakes and sharks. Other than that, I could deal in spiders. Other than that, if it's not a tarantula or a great white or a rattlesnake, if something rubs my shoulder or is on my head or something, I don't care at all. Some people are weirded out by that.
Do you get many sharks in Knoxville?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's terrible.
No, I grew up. I was a super shitty surfer my whole life, but I always had this fear that I was always going to get eaten by a shark. The water's weird, stepping on a fish or stingray, and it moves around a lot. Like you just get on your board and you paddle so fast. You'll never get used to that feeling. But with insects, you're like, okay, this is, as long as I turn the light bulb off, they go away. I'm scared of the devil. Tom Mellon in the house, man. What's up, man? Come to Australia with Martin. Nick Bracken says that. If we were to
Yeah.
go to Australia, what's the best city to go to? I know nothing about Australia.
I only know Sydney and Melbourne are the two cities I've really been to, and Alice Springs, which isn't really a city.
You've been to Australia.
Yeah, I mean, I have. I was saying when you're away that I'm English. My family all emigrated to Australia,
Oh, okay.
so I go every couple of years. Yeah, Sydney is where they mostly live. Pretty awesome.
Duly noted. How long have you been brewing, Martin? You said you've been here for 15 years in North Carolina.
Yeah.
Were you brewing the whole time?
No, probably 6 or 7 years, maybe.
So we're kind of at the same pace. I started in 2015.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's about. Well, I'm just looking. I have since. Let's see. Okay,
What up,
so
Trevor? Perth.
Since 2016, I've been doing all grain according to my fake brewery name.
According to your what? His name isn't Martin.
I have the plaque behind me says Saints and Devils Brewing, which is my brewery, and established 2016.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right. We got a question from Nick Bracken. Big shout out to my boy Trevor up there in the west coast of Canada, which I've never been to Canada either. And we were supposed to go there. Big shout out to Trevor, Andy Murta, all those barrages. We were going to buy a plane ticket, and then that was right. When did COVID hit? Probably March of 2020.
Yeah. Yeah.
We were going to go there, and that got shut down pretty fast. So I would love to go to Canada. You been to Canada, Martin?
Oh, Brizzy. Yeah, I've only been to Ottawa and
Ottawa?
Toronto.
What'd you think?
Yeah.
Good food, good beer?
Oh yeah, the poutine and all that stuff. Fantastic.
Yeah. So maybe, when the world settles down, maybe there'll be a day, but after coming back from Europe next month, it's going to be there's going to be some serious catch up, so I might not travel for that for a while. I'm trying to go back to San Diego to play golf with my dad, but everything after the 4th of July is double until about the late August.
Yeah, no doubt.
Quebec City. Okay, we got a question. We did have a question. Let me play catch up with this. BarrageCon, Zach Pearson's still in the house. Maybe I'll come visit Knoxville. Trevor, you come out here. I got a great place to stay for you, man. My place is too big for me. I'm by myself. I got a 2-bedroom, 1 bath. But I don't have a garage or a basement. And when Martin was showing the room tour earlier, about an hour ago, I don't have that. And I'm super jealous.
Yeah, I'm only down here because I got kicked out of the house, but it works.
Can you go upstairs, or do you have to I mean, is your basement directly below your house? Do you have to?
Yes.
It's not detached
there
or
is
anything?
It's directly below the house. There's an unfinished part, which I'm in now, and there's a
Okay.
finished part as well with a sofa and PlayStation and whatnot. So
Hell yeah.
when Carl and Emmett were here, Carl was sleeping in his van on my driveway,
What?
and then he would come
You didn't
around.
tell me
He would
that.
come around the back, and we have a door to the outside on the back of the house, so he was able to get access straight into the basement without coming to the house. But
So what'd you guys
it's like
do?
a self-contained little area. Yeah.
But you can
What do we do?
You can go straight to your house from your basement. There's a staircase that'll bring you
Oh yeah,
upstairs to
yeah,
the living
yeah.
room.
There's the stairs. Right. No. You from upstairs. You come down into the finished part of the basement,
Okay.
or you can go on the outside and walk in. Yeah. No, we did a tour of the number of Riley breweries while we were here. Had some brewing friends come over. We did some taste tests and hung out. Really.
Sounds pretty epic.
Yeah, it was fun.
Hell yeah. So what was that weekend like? Kyle slept in his car, and it was the room over. Did everybody have a
No,
good
so
time?
Emmett decided to stay in a hotel. So he
Emmett's
would
kind of
stay in
weird.
the hotel with
Yeah, he's kind of weird.
with the free breakfast and whatnot. I did say, I mean, we have a spare bedroom down here, but he decided to stay in the hotel. And then Carl would sleep on the driveway. We did that for a couple of nights, and then we brewed beer one day. Then we went on the Riley beer tour.
Kyle would sleep on a driveway IPA. No basements here in Australia or New Zealand. If there's a furry con every year in Vegas, where's Homebrew Con? The thing about Homebrew Con, it's in Pittsburgh this year. Have you ever done one of those, Mark?
No, I was going to ask you, have you ever been to this? I've not been to this. And Brian from Short Circuit Brewing was saying, "Oh, you've got to go to Homebrew Con." I've never been. Never been.
Yeah, nor have I. And for the most part, they are East Coast things.
Yeah.
I know this year's Pittsburgh. Other than that, I don't really know where they've been, but I would imagine they're all kind of Pittsburgh. But the weird thing about it, and do you follow Barbecue Larry? Do you
Yes.
watch it?
Yeah.
So he kind of put up a kind of a weird flag. He was saying if they do COVID testing, I'm not going to go. And again, I broke my own rule. I said it. So you do need to be vaxxed to go to HomebrewCon, but we've decided to come up with our own con. We want to call it BrajCon because
Nice.
or just, if we could get me, you, Kyle, obviously the Brew Show, Apartment
Yep.
Steve, Short Circuited, to do it. You kind of want to do it in a red state. Again, not to bring up politics, but there's still just a lot of, like, did you get vaxxed, the third, the fourth, the card, something like that. It's like, let's just do it in a state where they don't care about that. Like, let's make it more universal. I'm not saying Larry got into trouble, but I don't think he grew from saying that he's not going to ever go to a con that requires a vax check card. So anyway, instead of doing it in Philadelphia or Pittsburgh, I think that the best state would do it in was probably like Florida or Tennessee or maybe North Carolina. And I do think the best beer city of all time is Asheville. Have you been to Asheville?
Yeah.
Aside from the Clawhammer trip, have you been to Asheville?
Yeah.
What'd you
A
think?
ton of time.
It's the
Asheville
best.
is amazing.
It's the
Yeah.
best. Asheville is
Yeah.
the best. Is there any place in Europe or in England that's like Asheville, or no way?
Asheville has the most breweries per capita than anywhere in the US.
Good food. You can walk everywhere.
Yeah. Right. I mean, I saw your video where you guys were out, and you were saying that one of the nicest things is that you can walk from brewery to brewery around town.
Yes. You can't do that in San Diego. You cannot do that in
No,
San Diego.
that's right. There's so few places. I mean, if you do the Riley tour, you have to drive between places, and in Asheville, you can just walk from place to place. It's wonderful. Start
Right.
at Burial and go from there.
Burial, High Wire,
Right.
Green Man.
Yeah.
What places do you remember going to? Asheville breweries that stood out?
Yeah, one of the places we really liked was Highland Brewing, which actually is difficult to walk to, but that's like right up the hill.
Yeah.
They have this huge outdoor area. Really like that place as well. And then, of course, you've got the two big boys as well, New Belgium and Fat Tire.
And
they're-
Sierra Nevada,
Sierra Nevada.
by the airport.
Yeah.
Which is
Right.
kind of, you can't walk to that place.
No, those are out the way.
No.
But there's so much to see there. So no, I think it would be cool though if one year all of the YouTubers that do brewing
I'm in.
went to
Whatever you say, I'm in.
or something or somewhere together. It would be really fun.
I think it would have to be Asheville. Portland's cool, but Portland's
Yeah.
expensive.
Portland would be good. Yeah.
You been to Portland?
Nope.
You haven't been to Portland? It's the California Asheville. Everything is 3 times more as expensive. Yeah. So we're coming down BrajCon. Yeah, we're coming down to the wire. We're 3 hours in, Martin. Does it feel like it's been 3 hours?
Has it been? Oh, it has been 3 hours.
It's been
That's
3
crazy.
hours. Johnny Depp
So I was-
idea. Fort Collins,
was,
Colorado. I've never drinking beer in Colorado.
So I was chatting with Trent before this. I was like, your last live stream was 2 hours and 51 minutes. How on earth did you like do a live stream for 2 hours and 51 minutes? I couldn't believe it would go that long. And
Yeah.
now we've gone.
We've beaten that record. You want to do one
Yeah.
more beer? This is going to go live. We're not going to take
I
this
am-
one down.
No, you should keep it up. I have no more beers, but I could grab something from the taps.
Should we do one more beer? Later, gorgeous George.
Yeah.
Have a good night, brother. One more beer, Martin. And we were going to talk
All right.
about channels, and people ask what we're going to brew next and all this stuff. One more beer.
All right.
One more beer.
I'll go grab a beer from the other
All right.
side.
We still got 75 people here. All right. All right. I got another Black Horse IPA. Here we go. All right. Congratulations, gentlemen. I'm having a great time, and I am drunk. And I'm in a good place to be drunk. Sometimes being drunk can be bad. Sometimes being drunk can be good. And this is an awesome night. Really is an awesome night. And after this, I'm going to go and I'm going to play No, not Super Mario Bros. I'm going to play Mario 3 on Nintendo. On the Switch, baby. Go to sleep. Got to sleep. Roswell's, have a good one, you Braj. Later, Braj. 3 more beers. Well, I got beers, but I have to go into the kitchen for that. Does he know that 1 more means 5 more? What's up, Lars? 5 more IPA. What's up, Ben Vanos? Todd Porter. He did a 6-hour stream and left and got laid in the middle. Tom Mellon in the house, man. Good to see you, Tom. Cheers, you Braj. Warren Cox. Okay, you've inspired me. I'm going to go grab a beer even though I'm recovering from COVID. Warren, you got this, bro. You got this. Now, I went from being your waiter with the towel on the shoulder. We're kicking it into wearing it like this now, like a wannabe Rocky Balboa. My girls are in love with Super Mario 3. Look at my last not Instagram. I'm doing more social media on YouTube now. And I just promoted that. Yeah, Eastern time. Yeah, so it's midnight 15 here, 12:14. All right, so the next beer we're going in, it's another Black Horse. Let me wipe it down. Nobody's going to get electrocuted. Don't delete this live stream IPA. You got it, Roswell's. Black Horse Brewery IPA. That's a very weird font. I don't agree with this font, Martin. I don't know if you do. That looks way too blocky. Unless it's been around from the 60s or 70s. I don't really like that. I have Skyrim and Zelda on the Switch. I didn't know Skyrim was on the Switch. But I do have both Zelda games. Breath of the Wild and Link's Awakening Remake. Whoa, fire in the hole. Just had a Braj's Brew IPA from Shiner. All right, what are you drinking, Martin?
All right, so I have this is one of mine. But this is a collaboration with somebody who was on the live stream earlier, which I think has now left, which is Yeast and the Beast.
Yeast and the Braj.
So we are working on a beer together. Don't really want to say too much more than that.
Okay.
But this is the outcome of it.
What do you think?
What do you have there? Another IPA?
Yeah, it's another Black Horse. Again, this is the brewery that I did not like, but the cream ale was good. It was 7.2. Yeah, Martin, this is definitely our last beer.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah.
So I guess I missed the chat. Someone's talking about Zelda on the Switch.
Oh yeah,
I have 200 hours. The Switch tells me I've spent on that game.
On Breath of the Wind.
Yeah, Breath of the Wild. Yeah.
Breath of the Wild. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you a big gamer, Martin?
A little bit, I guess. If I spent 200 hours on Zelda, I guess that counts as something, right?
But before that,
I have really gone through all the PlayStation stuff, and I used to have a PC.
what do you mean, like Twisted Metal, Final Fantasy VII, PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2? I know more about video games than I should know.
Well, I can tell that from all of your graphics and your
Yeah.
8-bit stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I started with I guess in England it may be different, but we started with Sinclair Spectrums, or like the
Okay.
basic kind of thing, rubber keyboard kind of things, and then an Amiga.
Thanks, Blackwood.
Amiga. Then PlayStation 2 and onwards from the PlayStation stuff, really.
PlayStation 2 was one of the greatest things that's ever happened to me. I'm so glad that I was around when that came out. It's like watching Game of Thrones. Like, I'm very glad that I was able to be there when it debuted. And I get it. I get it. Like, Jorge Castro's in here from Puerto Rico. He said, he did my podcast. He said that when Star Wars came out, it blew his mind. Star Wars doesn't blow people's minds nowadays. But if you were there when it came out, no one's ever seen anything like that ever before. That's what I mean by that. That's what I mean by that.
Right.
Yeah. So, well, right on, man. So I'm drinking the Black Horse IPA. You're doing the Yeast and the Beast beer. We can't do it. I mainly bought a PS2 to play Grand Theft Auto 3. No regrets. Joe Skiles. Yeah. Most people bought PlayStation 2s for video games, but a big factor of that was when DVDs were huge. So remember,
that's right. You got a free DVD player.
You got a free DVD player. Yeah.
Was that PS2 or PS3?
It was PS2. DVD? Oh, it was PS2. Oh yeah. I was 2001. I was 16 years old. I'm 37. I was born in 85. And I remember there was a good couple of years, Martin, where like you had to have every DVD. Like in my room before social media and the smartphone. I remember I had Alien, I had Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, I had Training Day, Denzel Washington, and Ethan Hawke, and Blow with Johnny Depp. And you were the man. You were the man if you had this stuff. Nowadays, it's like it's all in a click button on Netflix for $9.99, and that's it. No one cares.
That's right. Everyone has it. Right.
Yeah.
Music.
So this IPA is definitely better than... IPAs are weird because you think they would all... This is still malty. I just can't do malty IPAs. Can you do malty IPAs, Martin?
So malty IPAs are actually quite English. English IPAs are generally a mixture of malt and hops. So I do like them. I do like that.
Even if it's a session?
Speaking of weird though, like I just realized that have you been using the same glass for all of your beers?
Same glass. I only have 6 glasses.
I have 7 glasses here.
No,
all the same.
I just moved out here in a Tacoma, in a 96 Tacoma.
Yeah.
I brought 6 glasses, 3 pots, 2 forks.
Tulip glasses. So I realize how ridiculous that is now.
No, yeah. This is definitely the same glass. It smells good.
Oh yeah, Bell's Two Hearted. I was gonna take a Bell's Two Hearted because I think that's bottle conditioned, and buy a bunch of them and then rescue the yeast from them and try to like get the Bell's yeast from those. I never did get around to doing that.
I'm definitely gonna take
them.
I'm definitely gonna take your bit about you freezing yeast, and I'm gonna turn that into a new video because I've never seen that before, and that's why I started bringing all that weird shit. Kyle's still here. I hate this IPA. You know what? That's a great name for a beer. Lagunitas did a beer called Lagunitas Sucks IPA, and I bought it. If I went into a place and it said, this beer sucks, this IPA sucks, IPA, I think they got my business.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you buy beer nowadays? Do you care about where it's from or alcohol by volume? It's weird. It's like the new wine.
Yeah, it is. I'll try to. I mean, I went to the bottle shop to buy all of these, and I was just looking, which is local to North Carolina, because I'm going to favor those.
Yeah.
Right. That's the thing now.
What's the most money you've ever spent on a beer?
Um,
Anniversary, 1 year, barrel aged.
I don't
Some
think
guys
I've
spent like
ever.
$60.
No, I've never bought an expensive beer ever.
Neither have I. Maybe once. Some
No.
people eat that shit
Uh,
up.
Right, like, oh, I do have. No, I do have an expensive beer. Hold
Firestone,
on.
Walker. Are we cracking it
No,
tonight?
I
No, we're too drunk.
I need to go get it now. I'll be right back.
Multi IPAs are okay, but they better have 300 IBUs. There's no such thing as 300 IBUs. I wish. Eric, I take that bet. I've been gaming for 40 years, started in my mid-teens. Warren Cox, man. Next stream is going to be about Jorge. You still here? Like, I could beat everybody's ass in my hometown at video games, but when you go on the internet, there's somebody a third of your age just smoking you. It's kind of weird. What is that? What is
Okay.
that?
Okay, this
What
is
the fuck is that? I'm like the drill sergeant.
Thomas. This is Thomas Hardy Ale.
Mm.
And they sell us in different years. This is 1986, batch 23229.
Okay.
So I have had this for 20 years myself, and someone else gave it to me. So these
Damn.
things just age. And yeah, this is probably the most expensive beer I own, and I've never opened it.
Should we crack it?
No. You know how much trouble I would be if I open this thing?
No, I'm kidding. I mean, I'm not kidding, but I'm kind of kidding. Just crack it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Are you going to do it?
No, I'm not doing it. No way. Oh my God, I would be in so much trouble.
Don't do
But
it.
yeah, this is from 86, and
Jorge is
probably taste
asking, is it a barley wine? No, it's not.
no, I don't know what style it is. It says it's I don't know. Brewed in Dorchester, England.
Don't do it.
I feel like every time we say don't do it, you're telling me to do it. But,
Well, Chrissy
I'm
is
gonna,
saying do it. Just say it. Just do it. Everyone said
I'm gonna put it
NBC
aside.
that. Joe Skiles. Be good. Say when. No, don't do it. No, we're doing it. No, we're coming down to the wire. This is a great stream, Martin. Anything you want to talk about or plug? Somebody asked us earlier, what's our next batches of beer we're going to do?
Oh, yeah, I'm brewing a beer on Friday called a mystery beer. So I guess I can plug this. I have found a mason jar of yeast in my fridge that has been there at least a year. And I remember vaguely that I harvested some yeast and I put it in a mason jar, but it's been a year and I've brewed like 50 beers since then, and I can't remember what the hell I was saving it for or what the yeast is.
You sound like me.
So I'm going to brew a beer, like the simplest beer recipe, like 2-row with like Magnum hops or something, and then I'm gonna add this forgotten yeast into it and then try to figure out what the hell yeast strain it was. That is my next thing.
Can't wait. Can't wait.
Yeah, it's not like clickbait. I have no idea what the hell this yeast is, but I guess it was special because I saved it. So we'll see.
Looking forward to it. Anything else you want to plug? I mean, Martin, how much beer you have left?
Not much.
I think we have about the same. Anybody from the chat got any questions for Martin? Hey, Martin, thank you so much for coming on, man.
It is my pleasure. Oh, I like you have a Northern Brewer glass. Is that what you've been drinking from?
Yeah, Todd. Do you work with Todd?
No.
He's a barrage. He's definitely a barrage. He's a rad dude, and I gotta get that cake grater thing going. I gotta start brewing again. I have to start brewing again. When I come back from Europe, I'm going to go full on homebrew challenge. I'm going to completely rip off everything you've ever done And I'm gonna do
Well-
one beer a week.
Yeah, just like having a list of beers to brew was really useful for me because I was like in a rut and I'd be like, oh, let's brew an English IPA, let's brew a stout, let's brew a pale ale, and just do the same thing over and over again.
Malty, hoppy,
Right.
yeah.
So having a list of like you've got to do this, this, and this, and like include a start I've never even heard of, and it was really good for me to sort of have that list of stuff, and then you just got to work through it, and then it's easy from that point. So.
I hear you. So we're coming down to the wire. Anything you want to promote? Is there any do you upload every Tuesday?
Yeah, Tuesdays, although it's not been every Tuesday since I finished the 99, but yeah.
Is there any anything else? Is there any brewery or GoFundMe or anything that you want to talk about? Or
No GoFundMe. Okay, so I see. What was the hardest, most difficult brews you did during the night? Oh,
There we
okay.
go.
I have to mention this. So, when I was looking through the 99 beer stars, right, I was just like, I would look ahead a month and I would see, oh, I've got to do a Maybach this month. And then I would like come up with the recipe, send it to Atlantic Brew Supply. They give me the recipe. I brew it onto the next one and so forth. And I just went like this for 2 years until I got to the European sour beer category. And I was like, oh crap. These need to be aged for a year. And the videos are due out in like 6 weeks. So this is where I realized I had a problem. So I looked at all the beers and there's like Flanders Red, that needs a year. Lambic, that needs a year.
yeah.
So I brewed them. And then for the tasting segment, I bought commercial versions of a Flanders Red and a Lambic and just did the tasting there. And I left the actual brews that I made in a better bottle carboy and just put it in a closet in the basement. And they have been there for a year and a half now. So I still have a
There's your
Flanders Red,
Yeah.
a Lambic that needs to be like put into some sort of serving vessel and served and tried and tasted and whatnot. So I've been trying to figure out what to do because I'm a little bit worried about these sort of beers because unlike the kettle sour beers where you kettle sour them and you kill it off with the boil and then it's all fine.
Sure.
These beers have got like Brett in them and like they could infect the rest of the brewery. So they've been sat there while I've been procrastinating, but I think, figured out how I want to make them and serve them and what I'm going to put in bottles and what I'm going to put in a keg and try them. But it's been 18 months now, so those have been definitely the hardest ones.
Gotcha. Duly noted. We got a barrage out there. Slays 8. Prost from Germany, man. Much love. We're talking North Carolina and Tennessee in the house, man. Kevin Dodgers Martin, will those European sour beers you made be ready? Do a blend, do new lambic base and blend with the old new?
Right. They are sat there ready for me. One of them I am going to pasteurize, and one of them I'm going to bottle condition. So that's my plan. I just haven't got them there yet, but they're like 18 months old, so it's time. I think it's time.
Well, right on, Martin. Anything else you want to talk about? Martin, we did it, man. This is one of the longest streams we've ever done. I mean,
that's crazy.
They're always long, but this one's gonna go live.
Hey, did we make it? If we've got through the whole stream and like nothing inappropriate happened, does that mean like we made it?
Yeah, I mean, the big thing with me is that it comes down to people talking about COVID. I brought it up twice, but I shut it down twice. Other than that, it was all beer.
Yeah. Sponsor friendly, right? Sponsor friendly.
Sponsor friendly. So, anything else? You got any merch? Any foundation or fundraiser or anything you want to promote?
I have nothing like that. I just brew beer and put a video out every week or so. That is
My man.
literally it.
That's fucking
That is
awesome.
literally.
Okay, well, this
But
is
I just want to yeah, thank you for having me on. This has been really, really fun,
it's
and it's
always
been really
fun.
fun
It's always
to see
fun.
all the comments and
Yes.
the discussion because I feel like a lot of the time it's just with this, like you shoot the video in a room talking to yourself the whole time,
Right.
and then you edit it and generally sat in my car editing the video by myself the whole time, and then it's like there's actually like real people out there and you see it in the comments, but like when you come on something like this and there's people real time interacting with you, it's fantastic. So just really appreciate you inviting me on and everybody who's interacted with the stream today.
Martin, you're definitely a barrage, and that was a phenomenal choice of words, and I get it. You're kind of talking to yourself this whole weird YouTube life, and
Right.
it's a weird thing, but there's a lot of people that do it, and I'm really glad you came on tonight. I had a lot of
Well,
fun.
cheers.
Cheers,
Thanks
brother.
a lot, everybody.
Hey, Martin, let's do this when I come back from Europe. I'll be back probably in 3 weeks, and if we're, I mean, Martin, you're obviously always welcome on, but especially when you're putting out content and this and that. So everybody check out Martin. There's a link to his channel. I'm looking at the happy hour right now. There's 3 things you can show up before you have to click more. Subscribe to Martin, subscribe to the Homebrew Challenge. Martin, I'm drunk. I do have to get out of here. I got to go to bed, man. But I want to thank you, man. And I had a great time with you tonight.
Yeah, thanks everybody, and enjoy your trip to Europe. That sounds fantastic.
Yeah, I'm going to send you some weird shit when I'm super drunk out there. Well, you don't do social media because I can't do it. I can't send you some weird shit. All right, Martin, hey, thank you so much, man. And we'll do this again in 3 weeks. Is that cool?
Sounds good to me.
All right. Thank
Cheers.
you, Martin. Hey, cheers, everybody. Have a good night. Subscribe to Homebrew Challenge. Let's get out of here. Peace in the Middle East.